Like we're live.
And it says 8, I'll go, huh?
Yep.
All right, there we are.
We're live.
We're live.
We're live, yes.
It says 8, I'll go, huh?
Yep.
Gonna be pinned.
Let me see if I can do that.
I got it.
Zoom.
We're live.
We're live, yes.
Karen, you have better pearls than I do.
They were Fred's mother's, my husband's mother's. And these fancy earrings were my mom's.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't have any pearl earrings.
She all brings us not luck as we are now live on YouTube, huh?
Karen, you have better pearls than I do. Oh, that's
You're more popcorn, Karen.
My husband. Yeah.
So that.
too nice. I don't have any pearl
I have this tiny little strand that was my mom's.
Shut that off. And then
My
go.
pearls.
It is 8 o'clock, everyone.
Okay, go, Karen.
We're the only ones that could hear that.
I'm waiting for, okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm Karen Sauer. On behalf of Musicians for the Greater Good, I'd like to welcome you to our election night party. Musicians for the Greater Good is an alliance of singer-songwriters who care about the environment, social justice issues, and other progressive concerns. We believe in the power of music to help change views and influence elections. This election season, a group of musicians for the greater good, including Ron Israel, Stephen Martin, Kathy Donlan, Andrea Kulish, Neil Braverman, and Mike Delaney, and me, produced a series of 10 live internet concerts to raise money for the Biden-Harris campaign. We called the series This Land is Our Land. Some 60-plus musicians and spoken word artists participated. We are very grateful to these artists. Not only did they donate their talents, they donated money to the Biden-Harris campaign as well. And we'd also like to thank everyone who tuned in to our YouTube live stream and donated generously. Thanks to all of you, we raised over $5,000 for the Biden-Harris campaign. So we are here tonight to celebrate with you. Celebrate what? A landslide victory for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, of course. Performers will be coming and going throughout the evening and contributing a song or spoken word piece. We also have some special guests. In addition, we will have periodic updates on the election results by Fern Israel Kornacki. I regret to say that due to circumstances beyond our control, this party is BYOB, which I did. It's also bring your own snacks and bring your own pillow, because we're in for a long night, but we're going to make it worth staying up. 2020 has been a remarkable year in too many ways. We realize that even with the best possible results tonight, there will remain much to be done. Let's set our goals higher than just going back to the way it was before. But for tonight, let's be together and have some fun. Now I'm going to turn things over to Mike Delaney, who will MC the first hour. Mike?
Thank you, Karen. I'm Mike Delaney. I'm going to MC the first hour, and my goal is to keep it moving. And so if you want to learn more about the bios, it's on our webpage, musiciansforthegreatergood.org. All the performers tonight, I think, are listed there. And this first hour, we're going to have Joan Lang, Deborah Silverstein, Kenny Seltzer, Angela Michelli, Linda Marks, Peg Espinola, Jan Luby, and I'm going to close out the hour at the end. So I want you to please welcome our first performer, Joan Lang.
Yay, Joan! Right.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here with all of my like-minded individuals and new friends. I have a poem and a song together and to celebrate with you. And I have my Biden shirt on. You can see it. November 3rd, and the blue moon illuminates. 3 to the power of 2 is 9. 90 million people voted in advance. That's 2/3 more than voted last time we had a chance in entirety. A revolution is at hand. We must bring back the democracy, the peace, and the decency. If I take your hand with my left, then another on my right, we 3 can begin the fight. And then an open hand on each side, and on, and keep connecting from your land to my land, from sea to shining sea, and we shall see the world shine again. I am the light in the darkness. You are too. There's no limit on what together we can do. There's got to be a morning after, if we can hold on through the night. We have a chance to find the sunshine. Let's keep on looking for the light. Oh, can't you see the morning after? It's waiting right outside the storm. Why don't we cross the bridge together and find a place that's safe and warm? It's not too late. We should be giving. Only with love can we climb. It's not too late, not while we're living. Let's put our hands out in time. There's got to be a morning after. We're moving closer to the shore. I know we'll be there by tomorrow. And we'll escape the darkness. We won't be searching anymore. There's got to be a morning after. There's got to be a morning after. There's got to be a morning after. Thank you.
That was awesome. That was great, Joan.
Cool glasses.
Love the glasses.
Mm,
That was wonderful.
I think we're all going to need the dark glasses tomorrow morning after tonight.
Well, we have to wear them because Biden will be president. And that's
Yes.
it.
Now I'm
Debbie
looking.
will be on in a moment.
Neil,
Okay.
Deborah Silverstein is can't find the Zoom login information. Is that something you can send her real quick? I don't have a live internet connection email connection right here.
I do not have her email address.
Okay,
or
I can do it. It's
figure
not
it
going
out.
to
I'll
be
get it to her.
quick, but I'll do
Okay,
it.
so Karen will let Deborah know the link, and we're going to move on to the next performer, and we'll put Deborah into the set when she arrives. We wanted to have this tonight to be spontaneous, and that's what's going to happen.
Good.
You know, especially if you've been involved with Zoom chats, you know that you can't always plan them out so well. So I'm going to go right along to the next performer, and he is Kenny Seltzer, and I'm going to spotlight him and ask him, is this going to be folk rock or rock folk?
That's right, just like last time. Well, it's going to be whatever you want to call it. Anyway, I'm glad to be here. You can see I'm looking out at the Zakim Bridge, and he was an activist in Boston. He thought it was appropriate because he was always described as trying to make a bridge between people. And I don't do much politics these days. I used to hang around in some progressive communities years ago, like people like Mel King and Chuck Turner. I was in the some of the same groups of people. But I don't do that anymore. But I still. Well, anyway, I'm going to do a song called "In America." I wrote the song a few years ago, and I'm hoping that it starts becoming irrelevant after tonight. And I got a little bit of airplay for this one. It's basically trying to figure out, look at the questions about who we are and what do we want to be as a person, as a people, as a society? And I think it's really important to figure that out and to keep on going towards those visions. And so there's a song called In America. It's going to include some of my lead playing. It's really more just not just a song. It's a piece of music, you know, and that's the way I do things. So it's called In America. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Where do I go? What do I do? None of the bright lights shining around us is getting through. More of the same. How will it end? I can see what's going on, but I can't comprehend. Another day in America. Guns and hate in America. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Who are we? What do we see? What do we want our lives to look like? Can we agree? Something's been lost. I'm hoping to find a way to bring us all together. Hoping this time. Another day in America. Lies and fear in America. Seeing you come my way, I lift my head, I try to stay, feeling numb, but I find a way to let you know I'm here to stay, here to stay. In America. What do you think? Can it be true? Are we going down with the ship? Yes, me and you. All that I know and all that I hear will not be stopping what's coming near. Another day in America, confused, abused in America. Another day in America. What comes next in America? So
Whoa,
what comes
that was
next
awesome.
in America?
Good job.
It's a question. What comes next?
Great job.
Thank you.
You know, I want to say one thing. Well, that was great, Kenny. And I want to tell everybody who's listening, if you want to hear more of any of these performers, we have all of our past concerts up on our webpage, musiciansforthegreatergood.org, and you can hear a 15-minute set by everybody that's here tonight. If you find they're all listed, all 10 of them have the performers listed in the description. So before we bring Deborah Silverstein's now here, I'm going to give her a couple minutes to settle in, and I'm going to bring up the next performer first, and that is Angela Michelli. And boy, I've known Angela for quite a while.
20 years, Mike.
Yes, and I've really liked listening to her songs over the year. I was inspired to write when she has a song that had melanoma in it. No, yeah, and so I had to write a song that had cryptosporidium in it. So she's a great songwriter and performer. Please welcome Angela Michelli.
Yay, Angela.
Hey, Angela!
So here we are. And I'm so praying and hoping that we have a new leader, Biden, to bring us through this pandemic and to bring unity to our country. Being a nurse, I'm very, very concerned about the numbers rising, and I think we're doing fairly well here in Massachusetts, but the numbers are rising. So this song is called Testing Tracing that I wrote a while back. In the beginning you refused the tests sent to you by our allies, stating they weren't the best. Another one of your manufactured lies. What is it with you and tests? Flunking out the daddy play fixer, cheating now with the cheater's past. You manipulate the numbers, gambling trickster. Testing, tracing, testing, tracing, testing, tracing, testing, tracing. My flag is my mask. 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 Testing, tracing, testing, tracing, testing, tracing. Will lead us out of this mess. Will lead us out of this mess. You think if you don't test, the virus will magically cease to survive. Your mind is like a hornet's nest. You put your power-grabbing paws before our lives. I'll assure you this will not end well. Refusing to have the feds help pay for the necessary tests to trace this virus away. Testing, tracing, testing, tracing, testing, tracing, testing, tracing. My flag is my mask. 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 Testing, tracing, testing, tracing, testing, will lead us out of this mess. Will lead us out of this mess. What is it with you and Tess? Gambling with the numbers as you often do. Cheating now will deny you rest. Your red tie is gonna strangle you. Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful, Angela. Thank you.
Great ending.
Thank you, Angela Michelli. That's Angela Michelli.
Yeah.
Before we bring up Deborah Silverstein, the control room is telling me that we're going to get an update from Fern Israel Kernacki, and
Right.
I'm going to bring. Where is she? We're going to find her on the.
Oh, there she is.
Yes.
Exciting.
So
Well,
here's Fern Israel
hello.
Kernacki.
Yes, I don't have anything to say except you must be patient because mail-in votes and in-person votes are all getting reported differently. So CNN says be patient, but they want us all to know that Biden
No,
is
that's Trump.
whoa, Biden is ahead in Texas, Georgia, Ohio, and New Hampshire. This says that he is competitive, more competitive than Hillary was. And Trump is a little bit ahead in Florida, just a tinge that could throw it all off if we're patient, and Virginia. So you have the update as we continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Fern.
Thank you, Fern.
Hey, Fern.
Delivered with elan.
Yes, that was good. That was very inspired, which is what we need tonight. And so I'm speaking of inspired, I'm going to bring up our next performer. And I remember, I don't know if I can mention this or not, but I remember seeing her in a group I think called Taproot way back when. So
That is true.
yes. So please welcome to our is it Silverstein or Silverstein?
I say Silverstein.
Please welcome Deborah Silverstein.
Welcome back, Deborah. Great to see you again.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Oh, happy to have you.
And well, I wrote this last week, and I'm hoping maybe by the end of this evening, certainly by the end of tomorrow, hopefully soon, it will be happily out of date. But the song is called I Guess I'm Gonna Stay. I'm gonna fly up into the sky. I'm gonna lower it a little bit. Sorry. I'm gonna fly up into the sky. I'm gonna drive right off the map before they get me. I dare anyone to try and stop me. My country's gone crazy, and I don't want to stay. I gotta get away. I'll clear out my suitcase to make enough room. I'll bring my guitar and my cozy living room. I'll bring the church bells that ring the chime the hour out of tune. 'Cause my country's gone crazy, crazy as a loon. I'll be leaving soon. But I have never been a quitter. get lost among the hard and the bitter if I just walk away from my brothers and my sisters. What would that say if I just run away? Well, I'll tuck in my neighbors who live across the lane, my local grocery market where they all know me by name. Then I'll hunt for a new land that feels just like home, 'cause my country's gone crazy. I'm gonna head out on my own, just become a rolling stone. But I have never been a quitter. How can I leave behind all my brothers and my sisters? I just can't run away. I'll do whatever it takes. If it takes forever and a day, I guess I'm gonna stay. I guess I'm gonna stay.
Wonderful, Deborah.
Thank you, Deborah.
Nice.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah Silverstein.
Thank you.
Nice to see you again.
Yes, and I think we all appreciate this as songwriters. We appreciate the sentiment, and I'm thinking of this as a retirement party, because we're hoping that a lot of the songs we've written over the past few years are going to be retired, and we won't have to sing them again. We can look forward to what's to come.
A great way to put it.
Yes. So next up, we're going to bring up Linda Marks, and I want to make sure I get the right Linda Marks to spotlight, because she's moved over to her piano. So please welcome Linda Marks.
Yay, Linda.
Hey, Linda, great to see you.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be part of tonight's concert. And when I was meditating on which of the songs I've written during this period of time was the best one to do, it just so happened that today an article came out that Ed Karvosky wrote that featured the song that I'm going to do, and it's called Prayers. Some people have called it an anthem for this pandemic, and I look forward to being able to retire it, actually. I'm sorry that we're in a second wave of COVID around New England, but I wrote it around April 12th, which is when a dear friend of mine, singer-songwriter, he's not a singer-songwriter, he's a singer, Bob DeChico, went into the hospital, into the ICU, onto a ventilator where he was for 1 month fighting for his life, then 3 weeks in the hospital with double pneumonia, a blood clot, and trying to come off his feeding tube, and then 100 days plus in rehab before he went home about a month ago. And he still doesn't have his singing voice all the way back. He needs braces and a walker to walk outside, but he's one of the heroes of the pandemic. So I wrote the song Prayers, both as a way to send healing energy to him, but it's a song for everyone whose lives have been touched by the pandemic. Frontline workers, doctors and nurses who are some of the frontline workers, Amazon drivers, restaurant keepers, and all of us, because I don't know anyone whose lives haven't been touched by the pandemic. So this is Prayers. It could be me. It could be you. It could be any one of us, parents, children too. No one is immune. Some are more at risk. We never ever have. just a matter of time before the beast grabs hold of a loved one, inflicts this damn disease. Masks and gloves in distance, the ambulance arrives. They're taken from us as we yearn to be by their side. There, on the front lines, nurses and doctors working against time. Us on the phone, separated, wondering, will our loved ones die alone? I never could imagine that there'd ever be a time I'd lose someone so close and dear and not get to say goodbye. Purse, hands clasped as one, asking for healing grace, sending love. Fears we cannot know. Will our loved ones survive? Must we let them go? Will our loved ones survive? Must we let them go?
Oh, that's right from the heart.
Beautiful.
That's right from the heart.
Thank you so much, Linda. That was beautiful. And I want to
Thank
say
you.
that it's not a retirement party for uplifting songs and spiritual songs. We're going to need a lot more of those. Just songs about that other guy. Those have to go. I'm going to, before I bring up the next performer, Fern is going to let us know when she's ready to do another update. And, but our next performer, I've also known for going on quite a while. And yep, she's going to need to unmute herself. She sent me a text, a chat that she had to turn off MSNBC because it was not good for preparing to perform.
It was CBS, and it
CBS?
just happened to be the Florida results.
Mhm.
And I thought, no, I can't. No. I've been working, as you say, very, very hard. So,
Yes.
um,
So please welcome everybody, Peg Espinola.
thank you.
Hey, Peg. And she's done so much work for the Biden-Harris campaign. Thank you, Peg.
Well, you're entirely welcome. So have a lot of people, and everybody so far has been so great. This song is called "Resistance Plus 4 Years," and it's to which I add, "and still we persisted." So, Mike Delaney, I took a page from your book, "Persist and Resist." But I've updated my song that I started writing the very day after the 2016 election. But I see that I copyrighted it as of March, so it took me that long. And I'm still adding things to the rant. It's in the past tense now instead of the future tense. Not only that, but except for the last line, which goes again into the very near future tense. Hopefully by the end of the evening, it will no longer be the future tense. Anyway, here we go. We picked ourselves up off the floor. That was the time to begin. There was too much at stake. The threat was no fake. We would not give in. We would not give in. We'd won at the polls, but oh dear, that didn't much matter around here. We were forced to acknowledge the Electoral College was theirs for the taking that year. So what did we do with our fears? Our anger, frustration, and tears? We got on a bus and made a big fuss and vowed to fight on with our peers. years. The protests, the postcards and stuff, they didn't quite seem like enough. But we who were caring could also be daring, persuasive, persistent, and tough. Persuasive, persistent, and tough. Though damage was sure and it surely was done, while Nero was having his fun, we promised to whittle away at his fiddle and find us new leaders to run. And find us new leaders to run. And we did. We called and we wrote and we roared about all the things we abhorred. The refugee hater, the ugly race baiter, the wholesale demeanor, the self-serving preener, the certified satyr, the probable traitor, the woman's oppressor, the voting suppressor, the habitual liar, the science denier, the wily tax dodger, the dreadful old codger. And now we may show him the door, and now we may show him the door, and God willing, and that now we will show him the door.
Amen.
Yay, Peg.
Oh, Peg, that was so wonderful. Thank you so much.
Show him the door.
Great.
May I never sing it again.
Right, that's right.
I love that.
I love it too. That was
I
great.
hope you never need to
Thanks
sing
so
it
much.
again.
Wow.
I
I
love
enjoyed
these
it.
songs.
So I'm going to bring. I got the message from the control room that Fern Israel Kernaki is ready to give another update, and if somebody could spotlight her, where'd she go? Wait a minute. There she is. Please welcome Fern Israel Kernaki with a election update.
Thank you, everyone. Well, I want to just assure you that it's too close to call. This is not a call. This is just to show how competitive it is. So we have Ohio. Yes, Biden is winning so far. In Pennsylvania, look what the advanced numbers show. 82% over Trump, 16%. And that's a very important state. And then we have Florida. Now,
Georgia.
there's Florida.
Florida.
Look at Florida, very close. And then Georgia, which was really, really very red. Look how blue, purple it's becoming. So this is very good news in the waiting. And then, I'm going to update my map, but right now I'm going to show you. It is claimed that Biden won Delaware, DC, Maryland, Massachusetts, yay, and Vermont. And Trump won Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. So far, well, listen, we are going to accept everything, but he will win. This is too close to call, remember. So I'll take this off and I'll just let you see this. And just delight in this. And more will be coming. We have to be patient. Remember this. It's very close. They urge patience because of all the different voting irregularities. So never lose hope and keep singing. I'll see you when the updates come.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Fern.
Fern.
Hey, thank you, Fern. Great job. Glad you're wearing blue.
That's right, all blue.
Okay, thank you, Fern. And I'm going to bring up the next performer, and she is right there. Please welcome back to our stage. She's been a regular at our Roslindale open mic. We really love it when she's able to be there. Please welcome Jan Luby.
Yay!
Hey, Jan, great to see you.
I'm not as regular as I'd like to be, but it's easier when it's online for me because it's not so far to drive. Yeah, if you want to hear originals, go to janluby.com. Or the one of the shows a couple of weeks ago, I did a set. I really, yeah, just last 2 nights ago, I did a radio show and I did the politics, and I just don't feel like doing that right now. hope that's okay. Even gonna do a cover song. It's an Otis Redding song, and I just felt like it was a good one for now. I may be weary. Women do get weary wearing the same shabby dress. Oh, but while I'm weary, try a little tenderness. Oh, I may be waiting, just anticipating all of the things I may never possess. Ooh, but while I'm waiting, try a little tenderness. Oh, I may be sentimental, oh, but I want to say I've had my grief, I've had my cares, and just a good word, soft and gentle, makes it easier to bear. Oh, well, I might forget it. Oh, just don't let me forget it. You know you're my whole happiness. Mm-hmm. Ooh, and it's so easy. Try a little tenderness. Try a little tenderness. Tender, tenderness.
Pretty
Hey,
song.
Jen, nice to hear you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Jan Luby.
That is
Yeah.
great.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks. So I'm going to be the next performer. There, I've been spotlighted by Neil, and I I have a whole year's worth of songs that I'm going to retire. They're on my webpage, MikeDelaney.org, on the Persist webpage. For every week for the past year, I've been putting out a song um, on this theme of persisting and resisting. And I took some of them and put them together into a mini musical called Petty Dictator. And I'm going to play the end of that video, basically the last song in the video, which is a song called Nobel Prize. And it's a flashback when you know who gets the call from Sweden about the Nobel Peace Prize. And this is how it ends up. So I'm going to share my screen, I'm going to play the video, and then I'll be able to retire it. So here we go. Where'd it go? Come on, you can do this, Mike. That's not it. Hold on a second. Oh, crap. Okay, hold on. Try that again. Uh-oh. Nope. What am I doing wrong, Neil? I have the video all ready to go.
Who did your shared screen, right?
So I go share
Shared
screen.
screen, pick your
Yeah,
whatever.
it's not showing up on the screen. I don't understand why.
Well, usually you go right to the center where it's green on my end, and it says share screen. Um,
Did you open up the
Then you have to
file?
click on
yeah.
what you want to share. You go
Yeah.
to share screen.
Right. Well, he's done
Hold
it
on.
before.
Yeah, hold on.
Like,
Just give me a second.
Yeah.
All right.
I think I know what I'm doing wrong.
multitasking. You're good at it, though.
So I find the video, I open the video, I queue up the video.
And then you share the screen.
And then I share the screen. Oh, it's not showing up. Why isn't it?
Give up.
Yeah. I think if I do it this way, it's not going to work.
Well, I know last time, Mike, your whole screen. There you go.
Yeah, the problem is when I click on the video, do you see the video?
Yeah, we see Petty Dictator MP4. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what we saw last time, and you got it to work.
I did. So can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Nobel Prize.
This morning has been the worst day of my best ever presidency. Early this morning, I was watching Fox News and firing off the day's nasty tweets. I get this phone call from Sweden about the big prize. I let Melanie know. I was enjoying...
So, no picture?
Correct. No picture. We're just seeing your desktop.
You have to play the video. You have to play it.
Yeah, it's playing.
Yeah, Mike, all we have is your desktop.
Yes.
Put the screen in the front.
So,
Wait a second.
Double click on it and see if it'll pop up.
No, put the screen in front. Put the screen in front. You have the desktop in front.
No, all right, I'm not gonna. That's not working.
well, we could certainly listen to the music, Mike. If
No, but the visual.
the video is so much fun. It's
you can't see that, huh?
Hear it for a second.
Yeah, you just had it. For a moment, you had it.
See it now?
Yes, you got it.
There you go.
You got it.
All right, here we go.
But it's going all the way back. All the way through it, Mike.
No, I did that because I'm playing the end.
This morning has been the worst day of my best ever presidency. Early this morning, I was watching Fox News and firing off the day's nasty tweets. I get this phone call from Sweden about the big prize. I let Melanie know. I was enjoying dumping on all those other losers who got the prize. And the next thing I know, I'm in this prison cell. It's unfair. It's early morning, I'm up and tweeting, getting back at that Morning Joe guy. My mind is humming, but my phone is ringing. Who could it be so early and why? Some guy from Sweden, or maybe it's Eden, wants to give me something noble. Hansel and Gretel will put my face on a gold medal and broadcast the ceremony global. Melanie, I finally got it. I've been picked for the 2020 Nobel Peace Prize. I guess they realized I was nobility. I want to go to Stockholm to accept it, wherever that is. It'll be the best Nobel Prize ever. And what took them so long? Nobel Prize for this noble guy. Fly me there on Air Force One, 'cause everyone knows I won. Hey, I'll call up Obama and that skinny Dalai Lama and rub my Nobel Prize in their faces. And I'll send an open letter to that little urchin Greta and tell her to stop being so graceless. And F you Mandela, and up yours Malala, because I did this all on my own. I'm better than Obama, 'cause I won it in my pajamas. So give me a big golden throne, a Nobel Prize for this noble guy. Fly me there on Air Force One, 'cause everyone knows I won. But that sneaky bastard Pence, sparing no expense, hijacked my plane and jailed me on this rock. So it's my internment due to the 25th Amendment, and all I can do is squawk. Pence took Air Force One, now he's having all the fun, and I'm a broken man in defeat. So here I sit in jail, no one to pay my bail. Geez, they won't even let me tweet. A Nobel Prize, where are those noble guys? Came here on my big beautiful plane, but no one to see my big beautiful brain. A stable genius with a big beautiful brain.
Oh,
a little bit more.
Let's do this. It's my time. Father, you only gave me a little money, and look at how successful I was all on my own. I just wanted to make America great again, and this is how they treated me. I'm all alone. Goodbye, Donald, loser Donald. Goodbye, Donald, loser Donald.
Oops.
Hey!
All right. That was great.
There you have it, Petty Dictator mini musical now being retired.
What?
That was a hoot.
Thank you. So I'm going to turn this over to Neil for the next hour, and thank you all for the great performers we had in our first hour. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Mike.
Thank you very much, Mike. Did a great job.
Great.
That was fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody.
Mike.
I just want to let you all know, number one, hi, I'm Neil Braverman, and I can't see, I don't know if you can see me, but I can't. But, this is going to be it is already a fabulous night. And just so all of you who have played already are getting some wonderful comments on YouTube, which I've been monitoring and making comments back to people and thanking them for being here. Just like that. How did that happen? Wait a minute. I didn't touch it. There I am. Oh, I'm back. Oh, thank you for spotlighting me. And maybe that's what happened. But Mike, you did a great job hosting this first part, and your Petty Dictator is wonderful. Anybody can see it on Mike's channel, and you can see everybody. So we're going to start off this part of the show with at least one very special guest, and that is my very dear friend Christine Lavin. Some of you might even know Christine Lavin. She's a wonderful dear friend, and there's so much to do. And let me just make sure I can still do this. Yes, I can. So listen, without further ado, I'm going to put a spotlight on a woman who I just adore. She's funny. She can make you cry. She can make you laugh. She's very political. She's very economical. She's just about everything you can think of, and she's got a lot of great things coming up. And then we'll talk about our next performer. After Christine is going to do a spot for us. It may very well be Snake. So Snake, just be ready for after Christine, but she'll be going for about 15 to 20 minutes.
Hey, but Neil, I see that Fern has an update. Maybe we should hear that first.
Fern, do you have an update?
Well,
hang on one second. Let me do the update.
I'm so anxious.
I can't even read it. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Oh, there it is.
I'm going to turn my mic off because you can hear the trains. Hear the train?
I can. You're right. We always.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so it's just, again, the urge for everybody to be patient because we've had early voters, we've had in today voters, we've had mail-in votes, and they're coming in different ways and reporting to the news people different ways. So when I say this, let's bear in mind, it's too early to tell, but I wanted to mention North Carolina, where Biden is up. Too early to tell, but this is a lot of the early votes are pointing to Biden. So that's very optimistic. I want to keep the optimism there. And then Jimmy told me, because I'm not paying attention to this, but you know, it's very important how the Senate goes and how the House of Representatives go. And we have a Democrat, Cori Bush, who's another squad member. He took the seat from a longtime Republican incumbent from Missouri. So that's a yay. That's a yay.
That's awesome.
That
is awesome.
Great news.
How's Lindsey Graham doing?
He won.
He did? Already?
Oh, no, don't say that yet. I haven't got information. Let's not just dissolve into negativity already.
No.
It could be true, but let me check it in with the notables at CNN and MSNBC. And put something in the chat on where you heard that, because I'll make sure.
What about the race in Maine, the Senate race in Maine? Susan Collins?
They haven't mentioned it yet.
Oh, good. Okay. So
It's
no
good.
bad news yet. Because, you know, Maine votes differently from all they do this rank voting.
Yeah, that's on the ballot here in Massachusetts as well.
How is it doing on the ballot in Massachusetts?
I don't know that either. I'm
Oh,
not really following
'cause
this.
I love that idea. It makes a
Yeah.
whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
You guys in New England are always ahead of the curve.
Uh, the rank voting was winning by quite a bit.
Oh,
When I
Oh,
saw
good.
it.
great.
Oh, thank you. Oh, see, look at that.
Great.
All
Okay, I'm
right.
gonna mute myself.
Thank you let's hear from Fern Israel Kornacki. Thank you.
Yay!
All right. Now we will, let me see if this will work now. Let me get back to Christine. Let's see. There we go. There's Christine Lavin, my very dear friend. Let's hear it for Christine Lavin, everybody. Hey!
Hey, everybody. Here's a song that I hope I will never have to sing again after tonight. There's a storm on the horizon. Skies are blustery and gray. Whoop, blustery and gray. All hands on deck, anchors away. The captain says full steam ahead. You can trust in me. Now we're hanging on for dear life between the devil and the deep blue sea. His crew are all landlubbers, his son-in-law and daughter. Neither of them has spent any time on this kind of water. He's never piloted a ship. He does not want advice. As we head into the storm, I guess he'd rather roll the dice. And when it all goes wrong, we can't say we weren't warned. And when it all goes wrong, when we're enveloped by the storm, when it all goes wrong, when he drives that ship aground, we'll throw captain and crew overboard, then turn the ship around. I wrote this song 1 week before his inauguration. I thought by now the song would be passé. But we're living in a time where we get no clear explanation. What was he doing in Lafayette Park, waving the Bible around that day? The Bible, a book like Mary Trump's book and Bob Woodward's book Rage, you know he will never, ever read. Better batten down the hatches, this ship of state will drift. We never know exactly when and how his mode will shift. He can't focus on the ocean, he can't focus on the land. Our captain's so distracted by what's tweeting in his hand. Pirates lurking on the waves, hackers in the wire. Love the way he crook his finger when he said you're fired, as if those words entitled him to lead this bloodless coup. I look forward to the day we say those words to you. And when it all goes wrong, we can't say we weren't warned. And when it all goes wrong, when we're enveloped by the storm, when it all goes wrong, when he drives that ship aground, we'll throw captain and crew overboard, then turn the ship around. All right, we'll throw you life preservers. We don't want to watch you drown, but we're gonna throw you overboard and turn the ship around.
All right,
Oh, that was a
Christine.
great
I
ending.
love it.
That was a great ending.
I do hope you
I
don't
wrote
sing
that
again.
before his inauguration. I wrote that, and it was not my idea. It was actually I'm a big sports fan, and I've been watching and reading and listening to Keith Olbermann for a long time. And it was Keith Olbermann who said, about 2 weeks before the inauguration, he said, when it all goes wrong, and we know it will, we can't say we weren't warned. And I thought, oh my God, I know song lyrics when they smack me in the face.
Yeah.
So I always give Keith Olbermann credit for that. And I've always wanted to meet him. And we live on the same island of Manhattan, and I've never met him, but I hope to. Now, this next song is a complete departure. I'm going to switch over to the gallery view because I want everybody to raise their hands for this one. Which when you hear the answer positively, how many of you believe you have psychic powers? Okay. How many of you believe you don't have psychic powers? Okay. And how many of you think psychic powers are a whole lot of hooey? Well, I think Snake and Deborah Silverstein, because they're afraid to give their answers. Well, this is a psychic test in the form of a musical question and answer. And what we're going to do is we're on the honor system here. There's some arithmetic in this psychic test. If you're not good at math, you can use a paper and a pencil, or you can use a calculator on your computer right now. And I encourage you to do it. It does not affect the psychic part at all, but it will be a help to you if you're not good at math. So in any given community, between 2 and 3% are truly psychic. And at the end of the song, maybe a few of you will come through and you can add psychic powers to your resume. All right, here we go. I am psychic, so are you. Just do what I ask you to. You skeptics won't believe it's true. I am psychic, so are you. I want everybody here to pick a number between 1 and 9. Don't say it out loud. Don't even tell the person sitting next to you if you're sitting next to someone. But remember the number you start out with, okay? Everybody got a number? Now double it. Add 4. Divide this number by 2. Subtract the number that you started out with from the number you have now. Look at my brain. Look at my brain. You have some psychic ability if you are now thinking of the number 2. How many of you were thinking of 2? Okay. All of you thinking of 2, you're invited to the second level of psychic testing. If you're now thinking of 2, you're out. I'm sure you're a fascinating person. You're just not psychic. And as I said, we're on the honor system. For those of you in the second level of psychic testing, I want you now to pick a number between 2 and 17. Remember it. Now double it. Add 12. Divide this number by 2. Subtract the number that you started out with from the number you have now. Look at my brain even harder. Look at my brain. You have even more psychic powers if you are now thinking of the number 6. How many were thinking of 6? Oh, this is great. This is great. Well, I know a lot of you in Massachusetts, and you're all so smart up there. So now we're going to the highest level of psychic testing allowed in North America. I want everybody now to pick a number between 3 and 750,000. Pick a high number if you're confident, pick a low number if you're not. But remember it. Now double it. Add 8. Divide this number by 2. Subtract the number that you started out with from the number you have now. Don't say it. Don't say it. Whatever that number is, I want you to go to the corresponding letter of the alphabet. I think of the number 1, that would be A, 2B, 3C, 4D, 5E. Thinking of the number 26, that would be Z. Okay, so you're all thinking of a letter. Ooh, Fern left. Is she cheating? Where did you go, Fern? Come back, come back. She thinks that, come back, Fern. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Oh, crap, I forgot. Where was I? What part was I up to? Who was paying attention?
If you
Thinking about
picked
a letter.
1, it's A. If you picked 2, it's B.
Wait, between 3 and 750,000. I did that part.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, then I said double it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. And then I said add 8. Okay. All right. I'm just checking your short-term memory. Mine is fine. All right. Okay. So you're thinking of a number, and you're thinking about the corresponding letter. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I want you to think. See, I got so thrown when Fern walked out on me. That's the hard thing about Zoom. People want you to think, what did I do? What did I say? Or maybe she's not good at math and she's embarrassed. Okay, so you're all thinking of a letter. I want you to think of an animal that begins with the letter that you are thinking. An animal that might make a nice pet. So you're all thinking of an animal. Now, go to the last letter of the animal you are thinking, and I want you to think of a state anywhere in the United States that begins with the last letter of the animal you are thinking. You're thinking of an animal, you're thinking of a state. You're looking at my brain. And I'm here to tell you, it goes on your resume. You are 100% psychic if you are now thinking of a dog in Georgia. How many were thinking of a dog in Georgia?
I thought of a dog.
Yes.
Oh, that was awesome.
Wow.
What a donkey.
You are like so off the chart. I mean,
A duck in Kentucky.
a duck. Wait a minute. Who says a duck is a good pet?
Oh,
I had a
Did you ever have a
Danny the
did you
duck.
ever have a? Oh, you
I-
did have one.
Yeah, I saved him, and when I was a little kid, and I brought him home, and I brought him back, and then I had to let him go at Norumbega Park.
Oh.
Danny the duck.
Oh, how long did you have him?
As long as my parents would let me keep him, was probably like 3 weeks. But just he had a wing that I had to fix up for him, and then we let him go.
Christine, Bovina has healed so many for so long.
A duck.
So seriously,
Heal it.
That was fun.
You're a
Seriously, I was
fascinating
thinking-
man, Bo. A duck in Kentucky.
I was
Duck
thinking
in-
of a
well,
dog
it-
in Georgia. Why was I thinking of a dog in Georgia? How did that happen?
You're psychic. It goes on your resume.
Well, I guess so. That's wild.
I'll give you 2.
Wild.
Was anyone thinking of a dragon in Nebraska? Oh, I'm glad nobody's thinking that because those sick people think things like that. No, duck in Kentucky's close.
Oh well, sorry.
Bo, did you ever write a song about the duck?
Danny the duck. No. My sisters have been making fun of me since I was 12 years old about Danny the duck.
Well, I think it's time you know what you do? You write a song about Danny the duck and your sister.
Oh
and
yeah,
get
there you
back
go.
to her.
Okay.
That's your assignment.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Christine.
Christine will produce the video, Bo.
Okay. I know, I saw her do that. It was great.
Yes, she has.
Well, I'm going to thank you so much for having me as part of your show, and I'm going to finish up with the song that also has like an animal theme to it. And there's a pet store in Greenwich Village called Le Petit Puppy where they sell puppies and they sell kittens. And you can only imagine what happened one day at this pet store, that the owner felt compelled to put up an 8-word sign. And I read about it in the New York Post, and I thought, that is going to be the first line of the song. And I had no idea where the song was going to go from there. But first line was written by the pet store owner, and I took it from there. If you're drunk, you cannot buy a puppy. You wouldn't have to put a sign like that up in Massachusetts because you guys are so smart. You don't, if you're drunk, you don't buy a puppy. But where do you go from there? When you're tipsy, you should not purchase a pussycat. When you're stoned, you might think a spider monkey's a good pet. But when you sober up, you won't be thinking that. Think of this as a public service announcement. If you're in your cup stumbling along, despite the obvious thrills, if you're plastered to the gills, buying a puppy now is just plain wrong. And they got me thinking, what are other things you shouldn't do while you're drinking? If you're drunk, you should not get married. Doesn't matter if you're straight or you're gay. Las Vegas wedding chapels have ruined many happy couples. I'm sure many more got ruined there today. If you're schnockered, it's not the time to photograph. Then Twitter yourself in cotton underwear. When you're plastered to the gills, despite the obvious thrills, don't even do it on a dare. Oh, the list of things you should not do while drinking is a never, ever, ever ending one. But there are things you can do when you've had more than a few and you want to pursue a little fun. If you're drunk, is a good time to spend money. The home shopping channel is the best. They've got blowout deals on elastic waistband pants with matching turtleneck and scarf and hat and vest. Order one in every color of the rainbow, including fuchsia, puce, celadon, and winter white. When you're plastered to the gills, it magnifies the thrills to save so much money in one night. And if you're drunk, is a good time for the tattoo parlor. Get a bloody painting scratched into your back. How about the name of your new lover? A single rose with the word mother. Or the Queen of Hearts smothering a one-eyed Jack. Or better yet, how about a tattoo of a puppy? On your tummies you can pet it ever die. When you're plastered to the gills, it magnifies the thrills to own a puppy that will never run away or chew your new shoe. A puppy that will always, always stay. If you're drunk, you cannot buy a puppy. Let that simple phrase be your guide. Do you remember The Sopranos, the TV show? Christopher sat on Adriana's puppy. The puppy's name was Cosette. Cosette died. Christopher was high when this transpired. Adriana fell into a free-falling funk. Little did she know she'd soon get whacked by Silvio. That actor from Bruce Springsteen's band turned out to be a punk. Then Christopher got whacked too. That's what can happen to you if you buy a puppy when you're drunk.
Oh, Christine, I love it. I love it.
Oh, thank you, Neil. Neil Braverman is just the nicest man ever. And when he's in the chat room, you know all's right with the world.
Yeah. Christine, that reminds me of the an ER doctor that I knew once said you would not believe how many ER visits started with the phrase, "Here, hold my beer."
Oh my goodness.
Christine, I just want you to see, I do have my tribute to Danny the Duck right here.
Oh, that's a loon.
It's a loon.
Wow. You know, I really had no idea how the song was going to end. I have all different endings depending on the numbers that I pick. And I think psychically you compelled me to end up with the letter D so that you could show everybody. Or maybe, you know, subliminally I saw it. And you were using your mind control on me.
Quite a while, so thank you so much.
Look deep into your soul.
Well, Christine Lavin, we cannot thank you enough for what you brought to our night tonight. You got us a little.
Well, it's an honor to be here.
And it's an honor for us to have you. And thank you so much for agreeing. And before I bring on our next performer, who is in the house, which is nice to know, I believe we have an update from the wonderful and lovely Fern,
Who walked out of my set?
Oh, Christine, I wouldn't have walked out of your set. I had to see the update. That's the only thing that would take me away from your delightful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's true, Christine.
But this is one of the downsides of Zoom is that when people are doing stuff, they don't realize you can say, "I'm glad Jeffrey
when you're
Tubin
not
wasn't here."
Well,
this is a big. It's not definite, but it's a projection. It's a projection from CNN. Biden won New York, which means he won 29 electoral votes, which means on his way. And another update that again, they beg us to be patient because of all the ways that votes are coming in. Biden is still, let me do Biden first. Biden is still ahead, unbelievable, in North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Wait, you haven't
His
heard?
home state.
Texas.
No.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right.
Exciting, temperate, and New Hampshire, because this is not with all the votes. And they cautioned me to tone it down. But look, and then we have Trump ahead with smidgens amounts of Florida. He's practically not in the lead. Michigan, he's a little bigger lead. Georgia, smidgens, and Virginia, a little bit bigger. But Florida, with a little bit of good mojo in the psychic air, maybe we can do something.
State of George.
Wow, that's right. Well, thank you, Fern Israel Kodaki.
Good job, Fern.
For a great job as always, and we'll see you hopefully after the next performer who's in the house with us. Thank you very much, Fern.
Thank you.
And now I have the great pleasure of introducing yet another wonderful friend of mine, who has just blessed us with tonight. Cheers for Joe Jencks, everybody. Joe
Jencks.
Thank you.
All right, good to see you.
With us, and I thought maybe I'd be announcing you weren't going to be here yet because you were doing your folk notebook for tomorrow, your folk music notebook for tomorrow night's show, which you may want to tell people about if you'd like. But if not, let's all hear it for the wonderful Joe Jencks, who many of you might have heard of. If not, who love
you.
Joe. So, Joe Jencks, everybody.
Thank you, Neil, and thanks, Christine, for that great set. Always great hearing you. And I forgot about the dog song. You cannot buy a puppy if you're drunk. That's the nice thing about having friends in music. We hear so many songs, but then they sort of, we don't forget they exist, but they just sort of shift off the desktop. They kind of get pushed aside. And then you come to a thing like this and you get to hear a friend and a colleague and you're like, oh God, I love that song. I forgot about that. So anyways, thanks for that. I really needed to be reminded that you should never buy a puppy when you're drunk. That's very useful information. You should probably not vote when you're drunk either. But, I'm just saying. I went out to vote, got my sticker here. Went out to vote this morning where I live in the cornfields. I walked in at 10:30 a.m. and walked out at 10:45 a.m. and everybody was mindful of COVID practices and sanitary things. And I crossed a magical threshold. This is the first time I got into a polling booth and realized that some of the font on my ballot was smaller than I could read. And I was kind of invested in being there. And I walked back to the table and I said, I kind of have a problem I've never had before in my life. I can't actually read the whole ballot. And the guy took his reading glasses off and handed them to me and said, I swear they're clean. And I put on his reading glasses. I mean, this is dedication from a poll worker. He, in the era of COVID, he trusted me with his reading glasses. And so I popped on the readers and did my voting and then handed them back to him and said, I swear it's all good. It's all clean. There's, I don't have cooties. And, but I thought that was real dedication to democracy, that he was willing willing to share his readers in this day and age. And I made a mental note to self that I need to start carrying a pair of readers around with me, which is a concession I've been resisting, but here we are. So I'm going to start out with a patriotic song that was rewritten by my dear friend Jesse Paladowski. He took the words to this song that had, as beautiful as it is, had some very patriarchal overtones to it, and he made it a song about the country we believe can exist, about the country that many of us already live in, and we're hoping to bring the rest of the country with us into this spirit of celebrating pluralism, celebrating diversity, celebrating the fact that there are so many different cultures present in this country, and it is those differences that have the potential to make us strong and beautiful and wonderful if we embrace them. And so this is Jesse Paladowski's rewrite of America the Beautiful, and I expanded on that just a little bit with a few more pronouns of inclusion. And oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesties above thy fruited plain. America, America, God shed much grace on thee, and spread the love sent from above, from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful thy immigrants, who hail from every land, their hope and heart and diligence, like gifts from God's own hand. America, America, thy grace shall yet remain, to greet the poor who reach thy shore with open arms again. Oh, beautiful thy working folk, built cities, till thy soil, proud Africans in bloody chains, the wealth built from their toil. America, America, God shed much grace on thee, and spread the love sent from above, from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful, oh, Mother Earth, all nestle at your breast, just as we sing with love and pride, so are all nations blessed. America, America, alone cannot abide. God give thee pause to mend thy flaws, with truth thy only guide. God give thee pause to mend thy flaws, with graciousness abide, and spread them love like peaceful doves from sea to shining sea.
Gorgeous.
That was beautiful, Joe.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to switch instruments here.
It's a cool guitar.
Thank you. This is an electric bouzouki.
I love it.
It's in the mandolin family,
Yeah.
though marginally. Was built for me by my friend Baird Blaine.
It's
and
beautiful.
He also built this instrument for me.
Wow.
This is also a bouzouki-like instrument, built in the shape of a parlor-sized guitar. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Beautiful.
yeah, and this is a song that I wrote a decade ago after going to Ellis Island and getting to look at my granddad's name in the books at Ellis Island. And, you know, it's a song that does not speak to the whole of the American experience, and I understand that. It's a song that does not speak to enslaved Africans that were brought here against their will. It doesn't necessarily speak to the Chinese laborers that came here and for the better part of a century were forbidden by law from seeking citizenship. The Chinese are the only ethnic group that have their entire own code in U.S. immigration law. So, you know, contentious was their presence here even in the 1880s, that specific laws were written. And so I also get that this does not speak to the experience of the indigenous who were dispossessed of their land by wave after wave of immigrants. And yet this is the country we now live in, and so we have to own our heritage, all of it. But our history doesn't necessarily have to be the entirety of our legacy. I think people confuse history with legacy. We get to craft legacy in the present moment. We get to craft what the future will think of us now. And people get so hung up on the specific history that they miss that that is a learning opportunity that invites us to create a different legacy for future generations. And so I sing this song with awareness of all of that and still honor that this country has been a place that for now more than 2 centuries, 3 centuries, has found ways to welcome the intelligence, the creativity, the talent, the goodness of people from all over the world, and create space within our culture for those people to find a home and contribute to everything that makes this country good. And we're witnessing part of that tonight on election night. We have the opportunity every 4 years to peacefully overthrow our government and start again if the government does not reflect the will of the people. And it's an imperfect system, but as Churchill said, democracy is the worst form of government ever devised, except for every other one. And I think there's some truth in that. We have a lot of wrinkles to iron out, but we do live in an extraordinary nation. And it is not extraordinary because of our wealth, because of our money, because of our military, because of the Grand Canyon or the Rocky Mountains or the Grand Ole Opry or Disney or whatever else people attach to. It's not great because of Wall Street. It's great because of the people. And Americans are known around the world as people who will give deeply of themselves, deeply of their pocketbook when there's a need. The American Red Cross gives huge amounts of money all over the world. And as I've traveled internationally, I meet people who, even if they're critical of our government, they understand that Americans and their government are not always the same thing. And so we're witnessing something beautiful tonight that many countries have yet to achieve, which is a system of voting, a system of people participating in the civic process in a very direct way. And we'll keep working for a more perfect union. And in the meantime, we'll remember the ancestors and think about how we can become more welcoming to those who have yet to arrive. far away in distant lands, the tempest tossed with hopeful hearts and calloused hands reach toward the light, the torch held high, and cast their gaze upon the lady of the harbor. And she welcomes them with open arms. She says, let my children in. Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor. And so it was with my own kin. They sailed from Sweden and from France and Ireland, and their earthly cares packed in their bags. They cast their gaze upon the lady of the harbor, and she welcomed them with open arms. She said, let my children in. Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor. Now we're locking down the borders and we're filling up the jails, and we say they don't belong. How conveniently do we forget that we've all come to sing the same sweet song? Will the dream survive the strain? Will huddled masses have a chance to learn its sweet refrain? Or will we fall into our fears and turn our backs against the lady of the harbor? And she welcomes them with open arms. She says, let my children in. Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor. And she welcomes them with open arms. She says, let my children in. Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor. Shine on, shine on, oh you lady of the harbor. Oh you lady of the harbor.
Wow. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, beautiful.
Thank you for doing that.
Beautiful song.
Thank you. Thanks so much. This has been a great project. This collective of musicians just speaking the truth these last 10, 12 weeks. This has just been amazing that you all put this together, Musicians for the Greater Good. And so glad to be here this evening as part of your election night celebration. And, thank you so much. Thanks, Neil. Thanks to everybody who's had a hand in the tech side of this. And, keep the faith. Keep that light burning.
Right.
Thank you. We will figure this out, and we will move forward, and we will build a beautiful country.
Yes, we will.
Thank
And
you so
thank
much,
you,
Joe.
Jencks, for being with us. And you've got a ton of comments, of course, on YouTube, and people thanking you. And I thank you personally on behalf of Musicians for the Greater Good. You've been a great part for us. And I thank you, Joe Jencks.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you, Neil. Have a great night. Everybody
night.
take care.
You
Okay, thanks a lot, Joe.
so much. Thank you, Joe. Now, I have heard that there's yet another update from the one and only Fern
Hey,
Israel.
Fern.
Hey, Fern.
Thank you. Wow.
She's still smiling.
I want to clarify something about the Senate races. Lindsey Graham did not win yet. He's leading, and that's what I want to stay with. So a little bit of the mojo in the air, I say. But I will say Mitch McConnell did win. But we need 4 to flip to the balance where we can do some kind of good laws when Joe Biden becomes president. And we've already flipped, we already have 3.
Oh.
So it's getting very close. So that's a yay.
Yeah.
That's a yay. Come on, it's a yay.
Hey, Fern, you did it for us. I'm telling you.
And then a projection. Remember, temper that with a yay. Biden will win Colorado with 9 electoral votes.
Okay.
Wow.
Yay. And Trump won, in all fairness, North Dakota with 3 electoral. So I want to say that the amount of electoral, where is my sheet?
Did he win in South Nebraska?
Not yet.
Where they have a lot of ducks.
Right now, we have the race to, oh, there it is. It's not on my newspaper, but there it is. There, Biden has 89 electoral votes and Trump 54. So that's a yay!
Right. Yay!
Yay! Tempered with patience.
270.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
We're moving in the right direction. And one last update. I just wanted to show you how close it is. In Texas, which is a Republican state, look, 49.3 and 49.3. It's very close.
Wow.
Yes,
Can't
yeah.
be closer.
Very, very competitive. And Florida, not too shabby.
No.
Georgia, a little bit, you understand where it's coming from, but not bad. Look at how many electoral votes. We have to get rid of this.
Yeah,
But
really.
38 and 29. But to be continued. The music is fabulous. I've really enjoyed coming in and going out. So carry on. I'll be
We
back.
enjoy you, Fern, so very much. We thank you for the updates, and we'll maybe hear from you after the next performer. That's great. Fern Israel, everybody. Thanks so much, Fern.
Hey, Fern.
All right, our next performer is a very long time, very dear friend. His full name is Eric the Snake Gullickson, everybody. So let's
All
hear
right,
it for,
Eric.
Let's hear it for Eric. And today's night. His name is Snake. So that's what we all call him when we're close with him. So let's hear it for Snake, everybody. Welcome, Snake.
Good evening, all. Sounds like there's reason for optimism, guarded optimism. This is a song that we're not going to be able to retire. Because whether we win or lose, there's still going to be an awful lot of work to do. So we can't just sit back and say hip hip hooray. The song started its life in 1900. It was written by a guy named Charles Albert Tindley. In 1945, a woman named Lucille Simmons adopted the song, changed around a little bit, She was a member of the Tobacco Workers Union in Charleston, South Carolina. They were on strike, and she adapted the song to be an anthem of solidarity for the strikers. In the 50s, Pete Seeger picked up on it and started to do it, and Joan Baez. And by the 60s, it had become the de facto anthem of the civil rights movement. And it's still very important that we keep it in mind. And I want to dedicate it to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. If I can get in tune here. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved today. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid today. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall live in peace someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we'll walk hand in hand someday. We shall overcome. overcome. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I still believe that we shall overcome someday.
Snake, that was done. Thank you,
Nice.
my friend. Thank you so much, Snake. Wonderfully done. All right, now we're gonna switch gears a little bit, and our next performer is someone I've also known for many years, and he's a dear friend, and that would be Dan Zampino, and he's a wonderful spoken word artist, along with being a dear friend. So let's hear it for Dan Zampino, everybody. All right, Dan.
Am I on right now? Yes.
You're a little bit low volume-wise, Dan.
All right, I'll get closer. Is this better?
Can you do anything upping your volume a bit, possibly?
No. Let me see here. No, let's see.
Yeah, you were a little louder earlier. So
Nope, the speakers are up. Everything's up. So
okay, it could be me. So
yeah, I hear you fine. What about other people? Do they hear me? Good. Yeah,
okay.
okay. Yeah, this is an honor to be here. I'm very, very tense right now, considering what we're dealing with. Trying to quietly overthrow our government, as Joe Jencks pointed out. I want to read a poem. I've having had my fill of the Trump books, Mary Trump and Woodward's. I read those. I went back to reading Kerouac, and I've been on and off reading Kerouac for years. And Kerouac during the 1950s really was all about trying to rediscover America. And to some degree, he had a great influence upon my generation, which followed that. So I wrote this poem a few months ago about a book called Old Angel Midnight, which was a book of poetic prose that Kerouac wrote that I never could understand until COVID set me down and forced me to stay in one place. And then I realized you don't read Kerouac necessarily irrationally. You read him through the language of music. And so I wrote this poem called Reading Old Angel Midnight During COVID. Old Angel Midnight, I was born at midnight, so I have an affinity for this particular idea. So let me read through this. And this is really about, and I'm picking up some of the themes of some of the musicians about trying to understand who we are as Americans, because we live in a unique country. And I'd say that as somebody who's traveled around the world and talked to other people about this country. COVID said to the world, stop. Move in conjunction, in unison, in harmony, in productivity, in business, in commerce, in entrepreneurship until you stop. I will leapfrog, distend your lungs in radioactive delight, says the corona to me. Prelude to a kiss of death and dying, where, like the swiftness of a boxer's clay before he became a Muhammad, as I bobbed and weaved the virus in multifarious sequestrations. Listen, I was ordered. Stay in your room. Angel Midnight, the sounds of the words like rippling waves lifted from the archaic throat singing of Kerouac's muse. There is a music in what he is writing, Old Angel Midnight, confluence of dictions, of dialects, like a multiplicity of rivers, linguistic capillaries of the heartland, from Morocco to Mexico, from Tangiers to Tamil Nadu, from New England to New York to New Zealand, in a chorale swirl of encampments,
from Lester Young to Mozart, from Atlanta to Atlantis. The art of the art of the dance, instrumental of blood and assemblage along an intricate highway of convoluted conflagrations of consciousness that were never really heard until this uncanny COVID hour. Cacophony of a symphony, a microbial minstrel that cannot be read except during a lockdown, where I stop to hear the birds outside my ain't going so no place window, losing my consciousness in order to gain it in an intrepid jest, where the wisest of the wise in the universe causes my consciousness to belie when I am conscious and can't hear the poet's voice, and won't finish reading what is written or rewritten, reading in what is as decipherable as Sherlock Holmes said, just give me the facts and I will deduce the truth. Making sense out of the voice, enmeshed in the vowels, lifted out of glib, enlightened syllables, busting through the crud of consonants like lovers stripping out of their clothes. Seduction in their coital fusion of linguistic license, where in the beginning was the word, the male is the female, as the male is the sperm penetrating the cosmic egg of language. In the beginning was the song. Then she was naked coming into the world, awakening to the grieving of the wake, celebrating the dying that is living. When in losing life, he and she awake when the world, but only when the world enters into its Magdala, returning to forever. And so now it is obvious why I, the artist, refused to finish sculpting the sculpture. I had already pared away the excess, like rude boy consonants, since there is always a curvature, a momentary inflection of light that impels an additional denial of God, except that God turns up in every completed work of art, but only when the work is ready to die, since you cannot see God and live, or else your face will be scarred like Moses, corpse-like in your anarchy. It must be that way. Striving toward perfection that is unmentionable, for when you have created perfection, there is always one flawed column in the Mahavira Jain temple, where there are 12 times 12 in perfect alignment, accepting the semblance of one, a minuscule monument of magnificent fracture that must be as imperfect as the imperfection I learn when I learn that everything I learn is a lie. That is why I learn I can only achieve myself at midnight, when I am busy being born, when the only thing worth living is the living of gestation of suchness, such as it is up to us, me, you, I, who, in the true murmur of the congregation of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, where I could no more comprehend the God who created the universe. Job, why do you ask? Than an assemblage of ants can perform like flaming jurists the mysteries of theology. Wordplay, I am thinking, where I back out of the place of redemption, laughing at the disbeliefs of the faithful who claim the only true anvil of redemption is theirs and theirs alone. Will I ever be redeemed? The virus will redeem me. It will deliver 500,000 souls before it surrenders its fury. Humanity is inherently reckless. In his mission is Kerouac's antipathy to the renown of a linguistic meadow that claims that what appears as real is real when it isn't. All that living is a dream, before the truth of death exposes reality for the linguistic fraud it is. And where you and all the poets stand on the promontory of a volcano spitting flames 1,000,000 miles into the high heavens. It happened once before, 75,000 years ago, and it is still midnight in America. Time stands alone. It is lockdown. I read Kerouac's Midnight Meditation in an audio-visual hallucination with only a memory of hallucinogens before I turned to Blake or Ginsburg, altar boys boycotting the lapse of ordinary communion. It is midnight, and we are angels' children. Kerouac's viscosity is coalescing into an unconscious lapse, and Louis Armstrong is truly the angel Gabriel. A linguistic exorcism, purge me of my sins, a reminiscent of somewhere I had already known, but had forgotten. I was born at midnight. I am one of midnight's angels. Knowledge will only speak to me when I hold myself in lockdown and listen.
Wow, Dan, that was so powerful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very
Thank
special.
you. And thank you, Neil, for inviting us.
Thank you, Dan
Angela and
Zampino,
I.
and Angela Michele. Thank you for being such a wonderful part of this tonight. Um, and it's just great to have you, everybody in the house. And I do want to take a minute before we move on to our next performer. Who's we have one person that's not in the house right now, so we're gonna just continue on as we have. But I just want to let you know that Joe Jencks did have to move on. But one of the things he put in the chat here, and I want everybody on YouTube to know, we're watching everything that's said on YouTube, and we really appreciate your comments, and there are a lot of them. But Joe Jencks just said to all of us that he did have to leave, and I knew that he had told me earlier. But he said, "May peace and positive transformation be our companions." And boy, is that not a telling comment to make. And we just thank Joe Jencks for everything he does all around the world. And it's just such a wonder to have him as a dear friend. And thank you, Joe Jencks, for those words. And we're going to move on with our wonderful concert tonight. And our next performer is going to be the one and only Karen Power, everybody.
Hey, Karen.
That wonderful young lady who introduced this entire night. Karen
Thank you.
Power, everybody.
Thank you.
All right.
It's great to be here. And
Rage.
Yes. I am doing an original, but not one that I wrote. I guess they're all originals. This is by Ron Israel, actually.
Wow.
And it's called Holy Democracy. I didn't have my wine yet, but it seems like I did. There we go. Holy democracy, that's what my mama said to me. If someone takes your liberty, go, holy democracy. Holy democracy, look at what's on TV, some presidential wannabe. Holy democracy. Holy democracy, my name ain't on the registry of voter eligibility. Holy democracy. Holy democracy, you make so much more than me, with no liability. Holy democracy. Holy democracy ain't lying. Holy democracy ain't buying tyranny. Holy democracy, someone's taken my privacy. One of these big tech companies. Holy democracy. Holy democracy, you ain't got the same rights as me. That's so weird. How can it be? Holy democracy. Holy democracy, you and I can disagree. without being enemies. Holy democracy. Holy, 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 holy democracy.
Yay!
Now
Karen,
I'm
that
going to
was
drink
wonderful.
my wine. Now I'm going
Karen.
to drink my wine.
Nice. Okay.
Hey, and that was so nice. What a tribute to do a Ron Israel song.
Nice.
And he writes some wonderful songs.
She does it better than me.
I don't know, Ron. I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd argue on that one, but anyway,
There's some good lines in there. That was great.
there are some wonderful lines. So, thank you, Karen, very much for that wonderful piece. And we're going to move on to our next performer, whose very loud voice we just heard, and that's none other than our wonderful dear friend,
hello,
Vina. Let's hear it from Vina, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Bo.
So, I want to introduce you all to my pet duck, Danny. Christine Lavin brought him back for me. And you never know, I might write a song. So, you know, I'm getting the results from Fern. I'm feeling good. And I'm trying to decide, am I going to be a pessimist and do my song of rage, which I know some of you have heard, or should I be an optimist? And I think it's better to be positive and think, you know, good thoughts. And so I'm going to do the song that I wrote. It was a song of healing when I was going through some health issues. But now it's almost something like, I think it's speaking to a larger audience, and that is maybe changing our government just by pressing a little button or filling in a little card. And if enough of us do it, we can change what's going on. And I have hopes. I have hopes that we can do that. So let's keep this positive going, okay? Have you ever been where you expect the unexpected, reject the unrejected, but you have to face your fears? Have you ever been where you're searching for the answers from the poets and the dancers, but all I get are tears? Will you find your hope in sorrow? Will you rise above the flame like the phoenix of tomorrow? I swear it's yours to claim. Have you ever stood tall, faced the unrelenting, those villains, they're so tempting, they'd rather see you fail? Have you ever been where a field turns to a forest, then a voice above the chorus lifts you up and fills your sails? Will you find some hope in sorrow? Will we rise above the flame like the phoenix of tomorrow? I swear it's ours to claim. Will you find some hope in sorrow? Will you rise above the flame like the phoenix of tomorrow? I swear it's ours to claim. Be strong, hold on. Be strong, hold on. Be strong, hold on. Be strong, hold on. Be strong, I know we can hold on. Be strong, hold on. The promise of tomorrow, it's ours. It's ours to carry on.
Oh, Bo, that was so beautiful, Bo. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Very beautiful. Very beautiful.
And A.G. Hammond wants to know where she can get a copy of that song, and so maybe you and she can chat as we go
Okay.
along. So that way we'll get you two together. And,
Okay.
so we'll do that. But thank you so very much, Bo Wiener, for a wonderful
Welcome.
job you did. And I do hear that we have yet another incredible Fern Israel update. So let's go to Fern Israel, everybody.
Yay, Fern.
You're still smiling. I like that.
There you go.
Because I'm glad I meditated. That's all I got to say. It's very hard watching this because, you know, they're making building blocks, and then they go to the screens where they're showing different counties. And then they show the big picture, and the big picture with not very many votes. I'm very optimistic, but I'm going to just cut to the quick and give you a good update. It's still in process. You know, there are mail-in votes, there are early votes, there are today's votes. It won't probably be decided tonight. Thank goodness, by the way. But anyway, so up to the road of 270, we have Biden at 89 and Trump at 72.
Wow.
Continued, yay, come on.
Yes, okay.
Hey, all right.
How did he get 72?
You don't want to know. I'll sing it for you.
So,
Relaxed and calm.
okay.
Then we have Colorado, John Hickenlooper, whatever his name is. He's a Democrat replacing the Republican senator.
Wow. Is that four?
All right.
He'll have others to learn. And the other thing I do want to mention that's worth mentioning because they emphasize the different county. In Arizona.
Wow.
Ahead.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey, all right.
Now we can't get too excited because of the way they're counting votes, and it won't be decided right now, but it's good news.
Do you know how many electoral votes Arizona has?
I did write it down, but it's included in the 89, I think.
Okay.
No, it might not be.
It probably isn't because it's not called yet.
Not called yet.
How about Mark Kelly in Arizona? How's he doing against McSally?
They didn't mention that. They do refer to the Senate races, and the only thing they mentioned.
Whose coverage are you watching?
A CNN.
Right.
Middle of the road.
Middle of the road. Yeah, but but I'm still smiling.
Well, that's great.
It's the nail biter.
Yeah, and I do think eventually it will work out, but I just don't know how people really felt for that guy. But I guess.
Has Florida been called yet?
But that's what?
Has Florida been called yet?
No, but it's very close. It's very close. Florida has 51. It has 51.2% Trump and 47% Biden. So that's close. It's not all a fait accompli or whatever it is. Texas again is so close. That's was the Republican stronghold, and that has 50% Trump and 48% Biden. I mean, the reason why I'm not sharing key race alerts, because not much of the voting is in, and it might get you a little bit needing a little more alcohol or drugs if I tell you about the other things. So I'm cautiously optimistic, and it's just looking very close. And they said here, I wrote that down, nothing is a surprise. That they expected this, but it's not about the popular vote anyway. It's about who wins the electoral college. And so far, Biden is moving ahead. Yes. Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Well, if he takes Arizona, that will be a flip, and that will be good. And he could, if he takes Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, it's a done deal.
Right.
Right.
If he takes Texas, he doesn't even need those states.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Fern Israel, for this wonderful update.
That's a great update.
Great update. You're doing such a fabulous job.
And I do think that in the next hour, we should have a little more purplish blue.
Okay.
Go. Well, thank you for that. And speaking of taking Texas, what I would like to do is introduce somebody that is sitting right there.
There she is.
In Austin, Texas. Let's hear it for Jan Sides, everybody.
Hi, Jan.
And, great to see you, Jan. And
Turning Texas blue.
Yeah.
Doing my damnedest.
Okay. And you have been. So
Blue
let's
all
hear
day.
Jan Sides, everybody. It's always great to see you.
So, yeah, I've been watching. Actually, I've been watching the Senate race more closely, and that I probably shouldn't have been doing, because that news is not great. But yeah, Biden's doing well here, given the possibilities. So, wait and see. We knew we were going to have to do that.
All right.
So I'm not sure I was blissfully unaware I had a role to play here. So I'm in my messy office. I had come in here to practice as an alternative to watching anything on TV.
Jan, if you ever looked at my study right now, you wouldn't call your office messy. So
I'm not showing you the worst of it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there may be a desk under there. Rumor has it that once I had a desk, but now it's Mount Papermore. So I'm just going to play for you what I was practicing, which is more or less apolitical. It's like most of what I write. It's got a feminist slant to it. So I'll just play it for you, and if you hate it, then you can tell me that afterwards. You were the prince and also the dragon. A captive princess was the role you assigned to me. I didn't really need to be rescued, but I liked your company. I was the queen of my own private tower, but it only had one story before you came. I didn't plan on a knight in shining armor to come and save me, so take my hand. We won't be prisoners in some fantasy. We can walk this land, you and me, together, equally. I understand that you grew up believing your job was to slay the enemy, but I'm also proud of my skill with the sword. I'll stand by you, you stand by me, take my hand. Let's not be prisoners in some fantasy. We can walk this land, you and me, together, equally. Yes, let's be lovers, but let's make another reality. Take my hand. Let's not be prisoners in some fantasy. We can walk this land, you and me, together, equally.
Oh, man, that was beautiful. That was really wonderful. Thank you so much.
Nice.
That was just great.
Good message.
Yeah, it's a very good message, for sure. That is for sure. But we're glad you came, and it's just great to have you in the house. All right, so we're going to move on to another longtime friend of mine and ours. It's going to be Aspie Chris Robbins. Greetings, my friend. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm quite well, and you?
Very good, and great to see you.
Great to see you too, and
Good to
great,
see you.
great to see everyone. Okay, I'm working on one of those slow dancing soul song called Holy Kiss. It's meant to be supportive. And it's already in its first draft, and I even polished it a bit. And those of you who are in the Rhode Island Songwriters Association, please feel free to drop comments about how I can polish this one more. Is in my Facebook Messenger box, of course, after the show. Here goes everything. Love doesn't have to be a romantic score. There's an all-inclusive love that means so much more than a one-night stand or a superficial Valentine. Anytime it feels like you'll never be wed, you can always brighten someone else's day instead and bring them joy that comes from being kind. So reach out and give your heart without delay, 'cause any day can be Valentine's Day if you answer heaven's call and rise up to greet the world with a holy kiss, and you can fit some broken pieces back together again. Hold somebody who's drowning in tears, and you can help them to ease their fears, and let the lonely people know they won't be left behind. 'Cause with a holy kiss, you can help to ease somebody's mind. When she pleads to the mirror on the wall and it gives her no answer at all, you can show her how to find some shelter from the angry storm. Yes, you can. You can take a hopeless soul on a lonely street into loving arms and get them back on their feet, and let them know they don't have to fit the same old norm. And maybe drop a bit, and maybe drop some change, 'cause who's to say a little bit won't help them on their way, or that heaven won't bless your soul when you rise to greet the world with a holy kiss, and you can fit some broken pieces back together again. Hold somebody who's drowning in tears, and you can help them ease their fears, and let the lonely people know they won't be left behind. With a holy kiss, you can help to ease someone's mind. If they're crippled with fear from being battle scarred, just send some encouragement from afar, and maybe give a smile as if to say, we're with you all the way. Anytime it feels like you'll never be wed, you can always brighten someone else's day instead, if you answer heaven's call and rise up to greet the world with a holy kiss, and you can fit some broken pieces back together again. Hold somebody who's drowning in tears, and you can help them ease their fears, and let the lonely people know they won't be left behind. With a holy kiss, you can help to ease someone's mind.
Ask you, Chris.
Hey, Chris Robbins, everybody. That was great. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful job, and as you told people, they can go to your Facebook page and see other things that you're doing, and thank you so much for being part of this.
Very
And
well.
and we do have our next performer is someone who has been with us before as part of our wonderful shows that we've done, and that's Allison Hammond. So welcome back. It's good to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having me again.
Great.
I
We're
brought a
thrilled.
friend. His name is Brooks Butler. He is a music teacher at Claxton Elementary in Asheville, North Carolina.
Oh,
And my daughter's music teacher. And he's also a singer and guitar player in the band Cult of Kings. And they have a Facebook. So I also want to say this. My young adults, I have not seen as many young people as I've seen lately run to the polls, when they right at that age, right? And they are so anticipating the results, just like us older people. And it's pretty amazing watching my own children. They're sitting around the house now, really tense, waiting to see what's going to happen. And it's just amazing. So, that being said, this first song that we're going to do. We came prepared with two, and they're not that long. Is that okay, moderators? um, One of them is called She Won't Remember, and it's about Mother Earth because of climate change. So we're going to do that one. Both of these are original. So go ahead. One day you'll discover the earth is your mother with all of your destinies. Why you gotta go change all of the B's and C's? What of your intentions with your monster inventions? Someday you'll see the tide tilted on the shore of the dark side of the moon at night. And when the wheat turns purple, you'll know how you mistreated her. And your mother, she won't remember you. Won't remember you. Farmer's aggravation, the dirt's aberration. Strange that seasons don't change. Color from the chemicals, all the rainy rain. Where go generations? Kill all good vibrations. You don't know what you do. Slowly but some bringing the winter into view. And if the water turns a blood red, you know you mistreated her. And your mother, she won't remember you, yeah. Everything is everything. Life goes in a circle. Children learn to love your mother. Your mother. No. Yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah. One day you'll discover, yeah, that you need your mother. You have the worst disease. Why you wanna kill the thing that you really need? And if the sky turns black, you'll know how you mistreated her. And your mother, she won't remember you. She won't remember you, no. She won't remember you, no, no. She won't remember you, no, no. She won't remember you, no,
Wow.
Cool song.
That really was fun.
Great
Thank
job.
you so much.
Yeah.
Kiki, Hammond, Allison, and I'm sorry, I forgot your partner's name there.
This is Brooks Butler, Mr.
Brooks Butler, you're fabulous guitar playing, my friend. And I can see why you teach music at the school. That's great. That's great. Well, thank you both. And you're both coming from Asheville, North Carolina. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, we have. We have the person who did our her website, everything else like that, is from Asheville, North Carolina, and they're watching you right now, and they're hearing you talk. So,
Yes,
so there you go. So there you go.
So we've got a second song if we have time. It's do we have time?
Let's see. Well, ask the was that a yes, Stephen? Or you're muted. I can't. You guys are muted, Stephen and Kathy.
Go on ahead, dude. We'll just keep on going.
Okay.
Oh. Thank you so much.
All right,
So,
thank you.
so this song was originally written. Both of these are originals. This one was originally written because I'm a domestic survivor, a domestic violence survivor. For that, but it speaks to different things. So this, I felt it still spoke to what we're dealing with now with all the things in the election and the treatment of human beings and all that. So it's called Our Shoes. So here we go. I can tell ya just what you've been through. Many people couldn't even walk in our shoes. Don't think about what makes someone cruel. Face down your fear, my friend, I am here. I can show you better days. We can change our mental state, y'all. I can help you many ways. We went through fire, now we can say, doesn't matter what the enemy planned. Look at me now, yes, I'm a survivor. Find a good voice in you, I know you can. Just look at you, 'cause here you're standing. I want you to stand with me. Together we all are gonna leave footprints on the planet, walk for understanding. Don't take for granted we're still standing. I want you to stand with me, and together we all are gonna lead with footprints on the planet, walk for understanding. Don't take for granted we're still standing. On your path now, let the past fade to be. Calm the tears you cried, you stream. I am free. It's a journey. You want what they said. Be a soldier and fight. Negative in your head. You can show me better days. We can paint a world of gray, world of gray. You can help me in many ways. I just can't wait to hear you say, doesn't matter what the enemy plans. Just look at me, 'cause I'm a survivor. Find a good voice in you, I know you can. Just look at you, 'cause here you're standing. I want you to stand with me. Together we all are gonna leave footprints on the planet, walk for understanding. Don't take for granted we're still standing. I want you to stand with me. Together we all are gonna lead with footprints on the planet, walk for understanding. Don't take for granted we're still standing here. We're still standing here with one voice clear, yeah, with our voice here. We're still standing.
I love it.
Nice
Wow,
to
that's
see you,
beautiful.
Sylvia.
Thank you.
Butler, Brooks.
Thank you, both of us.
Really nice.
J.G. Hammond, thank you so much. Thanks for coming so far. Be careful going home, okay? I see you have the bikes in the back. Are you going by bike? There you go. Well, thank you so much again, and welcome back. And it's so great to have you in the house.
Thank you. Everybody's so great. We appreciate you so
This
much.
is wonderful.
Good
All right.
song, Chris. Good to see you. Yes.
Yeah, it was
That's
wonderful.
all, and that's all I need.
That's right.
Oops.
All right.
Sorry about that, folks.
All right. Well, listen, I do believe we have an update coming from Fern Israel. So let's go to Fern and see what she has to come in.
Well, I'm going to update you. Some people asked how many electoral votes does some of the states have. I want to say that Arizona has 11, Wisconsin 10, Pennsylvania 20, Michigan 6, North Carolina 15, Florida 29. Georgia 16, New Hampshire 4, Minnesota 10, Iowa 6, Michigan 16, Pennsylvania 20. Now, I could inform you now, which wouldn't be, I don't think, as helpful, but I could tell you that Biden is still, he's actually still ahead, right? And I could say he's still ahead in New Hampshire and Minnesota and Iowa. But the others, of course, we have Trump being ahead, but only like a third of the percentage of votes, right? But Biden is projected to be the candidate, the president in Arizona, and he gets 5 votes from New Mexico, leading him to 94, almost on the road to 100, and 72 for Trump. So that's a win-win, I think, for the Democrats and for sanity on this planet. But it will be continued because of the voting. The voting was in mail, it was in early voting, it was in today's voting. It won't be decided today, and that might be a problem, if you know what I mean. But the votes keep on being counted, and it looks good. And they keep on warning the Democrats who are watching the display that we have to be patient in order to let the votes come in. I'm kind of protecting you a little bit with this, but I don't think I'm doing false news. I'm giving very honest appraisals of everything straight from the mouths of CNN, okay?
I've been knocking on wood so much my knuckles hurt.
Well, more than knuckles, you need the ooh la la, pray, pray, pray.
Trump is leading in a number of places, right?
It should be good. I'm still smiling, right?
Well, let's all keep smiling and let's all keep listening to music and being positive.
The music and move the body. It's
That's
all
right.
it's all good.
Well, thank you, Fern Israel, for another wonderful interlude, and keep it up. We love you. All right, our next performer and my last performer that I'm going to present, and I feel bad because I was supposed to stop doing this at about 10 o'clock, and I just looked at the clock, and it's way after 10. I feel bad for Stephen and Kathy. So, but I will introduce my last performer for this evening, and that's none other than our wonderful, very dear friend for both Rosendale Open Mic as well as Catbird Open Mic, which we all represent in part, but he's part of the community of artists that is part of Musicians for the Greater Good. None other than Jimmy Lunsford, and I believe, where are you coming from tonight? Are you in Virginia? All right, Jimmy Lunsford, everybody. It's always great to see you and hear you. All right, let's hear it for Jimmy.
You're an awesome MC, buddy.
Great to see you, my friend.
Good to see you. This has been an awesome night. Somebody made that comment in the chat, and it really is. And Fern, you're giving all the network pundits a run for their money. You're excellent. news bringer. I just made that term up. I'd like to play a song that I wrote a few years ago that was really directly relatable to several years ago, the beginning of this administration and some of their actions, and it's kind of indirectly relatable now in that there's so much polarization, and I think regardless of our differences, I just hope and pray that we can stop fighting. It's called I See Love, and it'll be the title track on my next record whenever I finish it, which I'm hoping is sooner than later. I see love. I see love. I see love when the Hindu man prays for his son, when the Christian prays for someone, when the Muslim prays for her mother, when the Buddhist prays for her brother, when the Jew prays for his father, when the Muslim prays for his daughter, when the Buddhist prays for peace, when the Christian prays for the deceased. In every prayer I see love, everywhere I see love. I see love when Hindus and Buddhists meditate, when Christians and Jews congregate, when Muslims and Jews fast for days, in the faithful of every faith, when the agnostic opens his arms, when the atheist saves me from harm, in goodwill that comes without prayer, in the prayerless everywhere. In every prayer I see love, everywhere I see love. I see a million people pray for the same thing every day. I see love. I see truth in every prayer, every church and everywhere. I see love. I hear a train coming on, I feel a wave rolling on, I see hands holding on to hands, I see love. I see love when the Jewish woman is with child, in the Muslim baby's little smile, when the Christian family gives thanks, when the atheist holds lonely hands, in the random act of kindness, in the heart that's open-minded, right before our very own eyes is the singular prayerful life. In every prayer I see love, everywhere I see love. I see love in every prayer, I see love everywhere I see love. I see love in every prayer, I see love everywhere I see love. I see love in every prayer, I see love everywhere I see love.
Oh, Jimmy, that is stunning song.
So,
So stunning.
wow.
Wow. I am
Big
telling
job.
you, that is a definite keeper. I know that's going to be a great CD, and it'll be on your list to get one when I autograph. And it is great. So thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you. This is an awesome night. Thank you to everybody.
That's great. Steven, since you are next, I believe, would you like me to let folks know who you are?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Because nobody knows.
Who is that guy?
All right. Well, listen. Again, thanks to Jimmy Lunsford for a wonderful, um, wonderful song, and I know a great upcoming CD. And next, we're going to have our wonderful spotlight feature, somebody that Jimmy also knows, and that's our next actually MC for the rest of this night. Well, not for the full rest of the night, but we're getting there. Let's hear it for our dear friend and one of the founders of the Musicians for the Greater Good, Stephen Martin, everybody.
Hey.
All right, Stephen.
Hey, sisters and brothers. How we doing?
We're doing great. We
I've been consulting my crystal ball here.
Have an 8-ball?
It's it's a crystal ball for now, but it's very cloudy and it's not telling me what's going to happen. And I am neither an optimist nor a pessimist. I kind of pride myself in being a realist. You and I don't know what's going to happen yet, so we'll see. But whatever happens, it won't be the end of the movie, will it? Back in the '60s, everybody got through and said, "All right, we've fought for the rights of the individual, and we can go home and get stoned now for 50 years." But in the meanwhile, the people on the other side were working hard every night, starting way back. Oh, let's see. When Reagan busted the Air Traffic Controllers Union, maybe is when it started, and they've been nickeling and diming us to death for the last half century. But what we forget is that we are not Republicans, and we are not Democrats, we're not liberals, we're not conservatives. We are, first of all, citizens of the world, and secondly, we're all Americans. We're all Americans, and there's no reason for us to be tearing each other's throat out, foaming at the mouth like we do. So I wrote this in 2003 with Jack McKennis, who was the second guitarist for Orpheus. And it goes like this. Somebody wants us all to always be afraid, so they can keep us all behind a barricade. Somebody wants us all to hide inside our shells and keep us so distracted that we fight among ourselves. And it's black against white, the left against right. Divided, we the people fall. United, oh, we the people rock. Big Brother's pulling all the presidential strings. You know the opposition's gonna do the same damn thing. When the people waking up with so much power in our hands, the times they are a-changing, it's our time to take a stand. Because it's red against blue, me against you. Divided, we the people fall. United, and we the people rock. It's getting closer, so much closer every day. Prison planet perpetrators, we will not obey. I am not not your enemy, I am your fellow man. Whether you're from Tupelo, Toronto, or Tehran, where we are all connected, and that's not so very strange. When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. And it's black against white, left against right. Divided, we the people fall. United, we the people rock. And it's red against blue, and me against you. Divided, we the people fall. United, we the people rock. We the people, united, we rock. That.
Whoa, Stephen Rock, everybody!
Ah,
Great song, my friend.
Thank you.
Job, Steve. That was
Great song.
Stephen, you rock.
definitely rock.
And
That's a
Stephen's
great
gonna be
song.
Stephen's gonna be the MC for a little bit right now.
All right. I'm excited.
We are too.
It turns out that that Mark Kelly is leading Martha McSally by about 10 points in Arizona, so that's a good thing.
Hey, all right.
Yeah.
And we're lead and Biden's leading as well.
Yeah.
In Arizona?
Yeah. That's what that isn't
Yeah,
that.
I'm
That's
not
what
sure.
Fern just said, I thought.
Okay.
Right, that's true.
Yeah,
Hey.
cool.
Okay, so rolling right along. Up in this segment, we've got Ron Israel, and then Bob Uvello, and then Harlem 125. And we'll go with Ron, who was also a co-founder for Musicians for the Greater Good, and took the bull by the horns and steered this whole thing over the last 10 weeks, and has done his best to keep me positive and keep me from giving up. And I thank him for that. He's a constant inspiration to me. You ready to go, Ron?
I'm ready to go, man.
Sisters and brothers, it's Ron Israel.
Hey, Ron.
Oh,
Awesome.
thank you. So I'm kind of in Stephen's realistic camp, and on the cusp of whether I'm retiring these songs I wrote or I don't know what, but here's an on the cusp kind of song. So I went to Mama and I said, Mama, Mama dear, what about peace in this world? She replied, not around here. Sent me off to college, where they speak about big ideas. I spoke about mine, they said, well, that sounds fine, but not around here. No, no, not around here. Then I wrote the president, and I made sure all my letters were clear. And I said, what about peace in this world? He replied, not around here. So, what am I to do? Nobody believes it's true, except maybe you. Except maybe you. Asked the soldier going off to battle, Ask the mother whose son disappeared. Ask the thinker. Ask the drinker. They'll say, not around here. Some say, go work on your outlook. And others say, conquer your fear. And some preach reconciliation. Not around here. No, 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 not around here. So what am I to do? Nobody believes it's true, except maybe you. Except maybe you.
Wow.
Ron, that was awesome.
Wow.
Great song, Ron.
We love you, man.
Love that.
A realistic song.
Great song.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next performer is a good friend, and we call him Cowboy Bobby Bello because he actually used to be a real cowboy. It's true.
Still is one.
And oh my God, the song that he is right up here with the rest of them. So join me in listening to Cowboy Bob Uvello.
Thank you. I guess this song is getting on about, I don't know, close to 2 weeks old now. Maybe not quite. You may recall, I don't know, a week or so ago, Trump declared that the hospitals were ginning up the numbers as far as COVID because they got more money if the death was a COVID death, and that they were just saying everything was a COVID death so that they could rake in more money. Of course, he would have thought of that because had he been a hospital administrator, that's exactly what he would have been doing. And so the first part of the song...
Can you turn your volume up at all?
I can give that a try. Okay, how's that? Is that any better?
That's much better.
Much better, okay. And
maybe that's a little too good.
Yeah, okay. How's that? Hear the guitar okay? Volume good on the guitar? Okay, anyway, this...
It's still breaking up a tiny bit less. I'm sorry, folks.
Less on the vocal?
The guitar.
The guitar, okay. This is new equipment that I'm using, so...
Great.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, the second part of the song has to do with Trump's calls for violence around the election. This is called Lies. Excuse me. Sorry about all that. This is Lies. You deny your own eyes. You're under the spell of lies. Lies and lies, lies and lies. More lies about more lies. People die, see the pile of bodies rise. You've been told, you've been sold, their deaths were only lies. Their deaths were bought and sold. Their deaths were bought and sold. Time could come when rivers, borders stand, where rivers freely flow. Time could come when America is just a setting sun, just a setting sun. Got your gun, you're told you are the one who will rise when the time has come. To defend the liar and his lies. Sold your soul, he'll leave you out in the cold. He'll leave you out in the cold. Time could come when borders stand, where rivers freely. Time could come when America is just a setting sun, just a setting sun. You deny your own eyes, you're under the spell of lies. Lies and lies, lies and lies, more lies about the lies. People die, see the pile of bodies rise. You've been told, you've been sold, their deaths were only lies. Their deaths were bought and sold. Their deaths were bought and sold. Their deaths were bought and sold.
Wow.
Bought and sold.
All right, Bob.
Thank you.
Cowboy Bob.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Very.
Cowboy Bob Ugello.
Thank you.
Yes. You have a unique perspective.
You gonna let me talk first?
Oh yes. Next, well, we've got Fern coming up in a minute with another update. But first, my lovely assistant here would like to talk about her jewelry.
Yes, in case apparently some of you have been asking about the meaning of the pearls that I know at least Karen and I are wearing pearls tonight, and pearls aren't really my style, but they're in honor of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. and there was a movement afoot around on Facebook anyway that said, "Women, please wear pearls tonight, election night, so we can commemorate Ruth Bader Ginsburg." So that's why.
Thanks, Kathy.
God bless her. All right, thank you, Kathy. Fern, what do you got for us? Fern? Oh, Fern.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
Okay.
yes, yes.
What's up?
Okay, so we have some updates. One thing that is important, that Biden won Illinois.
Hey, all right.
Projected to win California, Washington, and Oregon, and you see how many electoral votes he'll get.
Wow.
And then Trump won Wyoming and Idaho. But this is the most important thing. Well, there's several things. The electoral votes keep on going up. Biden 192, Trump 108. But I want to couch this in an understanding that they keep on running back to me. You know, it's going to come down to Arizona, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, it seems. Arizona, Biden is still ahead, but they say we're just getting started. We're just getting started at 11 o'clock. That we have the early votes that are mainly Democratic haven't come to be counted yet. And they expect this red map. That's why I'm not showing the map, because it's a little too
Scary.
And it's changing. It's not the truth. You know, it's a different, it's not the truth.
It's slanted.
It's slanted. They're not counting all the votes.
Well,
So
we're in Israel, not very connected.
Like Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, Biden, Minnesota, Biden, Iowa, Biden, tending, not projected. Michigan, Trump. Pennsylvania, Trump. Georgia, Trump. Not committed. But these are the ways that they show. And when they go into a community or a state like Iowa, they break it down into sections, and you can see everything, that they have no votes from these key sections that did early voting, and they haven't been counted yet. But good news. I mean, California, thank goodness, and Washington and Oregon. Yes, yes, yes. And,
Fighting a good fight.
And this is it. This is what I want you to have in your mind, that it's moving to 270. It is. And not get lost up in the noise of the reds and the blues, because it's just beginning, and we won't know it at the end of this night, but we will be advancing forward. But the music has been great, and it's a yay, right? Yay! Come on, yay!
Thank you, Fern. Israel.
Okay, carry on with the music.
All right, now let me see.
And what are we doing here?
I was just going to ask, do you want me to, let me see if
Is Harlem 125 in the house?
he's not. I don't see him. Would you like me to, I don't know if I have his phone number. Hang on 1 second.
Because
why don't we move on beyond him, because he's not in the house and hasn't been. And if I could find his number, I will.
Okay, excuse me. Well, then it brings us into the 10:45 slot.
Yeah.
We're running 45 minutes late, but who cares? We've got coming up, if Harlem 125 does not show up, we'll have Stuart Marcus, Cece Eberly, Garrett Swain, Bob Chabot, and Ron Israel closing the show. And Ron will step in as the closing MC of the evening.
One
I
second.
don't see that Cece has arrived either.
Cece is here. Let me see.
Oh, there she is.
Well, yeah, Cece did. I got to Cece, so that's good. So while I'm texting, I do have Harlem's text number. So
I'm sending you his phone number, Neil.
I have it. I do have it.
Okay.
Thank you, though. Why don't we go ahead and ask Stuart Marcus to do it as gathering time tonight. So I'll spotlight it now.
Sounds like a plan. Stuart, you ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Yes, and
All right.
Oh,
Outstanding.
Ladies and gentlemen,
sorry if it caused any
Stuart Marcus.
confusion at the beginning. I set up an account for Gathering Time, my trio, yesterday, and forgot to switch over to my own.
Stuart,
We'll
can we
love
see
you.
your painting behind you?
Oh yes,
Thank you.
that is. Pardon the mess on the piano.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you.
It's not the ship that I volunteered on at South Street Seaport, but it looks remarkably close to it. So I like having that one there. All right, so I came back. I actually worked at the polls today, so I was there at about well, let's see. I woke up at about 4:15, got there at 5:15, and got home at a little before 10. So I'm going on coffee and adrenaline and tension.
And we'll butt in and say you've been doing this all election time, and thank you for doing that, my
Thank
friend.
you. Actually, I still have my identifying sticker on my shirt, I just realized. That proves that I worked at the polls. Yeah. All right, this is a song that I wrote early in Trump's term when I saw what was happening, and it just got worse. So, you know, in terms of the groups that started feeling empowered and winked at and nodded at since he took office. And I thought back to the times that America has stood on the side of good and right and virtue, and the times it's wrestled with its own conscience. And I wrote this song called Too Far to Turn Back Now. And if you feel like singing at home, just echo the lines, won't turn back now, won't turn back now, we've come too far to turn back now. You'll pick it up if you're folkies. At the Wilderness, General Grant he cried, and all the gallant men who died. And he cast his eyes at 1,000 graves in the great war to free the slaves. But he rose and made a vow, we've come too far to turn back now. Won't turn back now, won't turn back now, we've come too far to turn back now. After the Ardennes, Eisenhower paused, and all the sacrifice it caused. 19,000 men, and 1,000,000 more, to end a genocidal war. But his task was planning how we'd come too far to turn back now. Won't turn back now, won't turn back now, we've come too far to turn back now. In every age there's a fight for freedom and for right. There's people rise to say, you can't take these away. Down in Birmingham and in Washington, places rights were slowly won. Martin Luther King, many others killed, to see the dream of America fulfilled. And songs of hope they did endow. We've come too far to turn back now. Won't turn back now, won't turn back now, we've come too far to turn back now. Each time again we see that freedom isn't free and must defend zealously human rights and liberty. Now we watch with dread, though we thought it dead, as thoughtless hatred rears its head. As the good book warns, in words so sage, each generation, every age. We must renew our sacred vow. We've come too far to turn back now. Won't turn back now. Won't turn back now. We've come too far to turn back now. Won't turn back now. Won't turn back now. We've come too far to turn back now.
Yeah.
Hey, Stuart, that was awesome, my friend.
Thank you very
All right.
much.
Yeah.
So, Ron, are you ready to step in as
Yeah, I'm good to go.
as the closing MC? All right. Once again,
So,
thank you, Stuart Marcus.
thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And
And I have put a text out to Harlem, and I haven't heard back yet. But so I just will do CC probably be next, I believe.
Right.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll let you take over, Ron.
Okay.
Um,
So,
when will I be getting on? Can you just give me a sense?
Is that who's saying that?
Can't
What?
hear you.
When will Garrett be? I mean, how?
Garrett is next after CC.
You're after CC, Garrett.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
great. Thanks.
Can you
Yeah.
say something?
So,
CC, are you?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
hi.
I never know this sound. Something always goes wrong.
So, I don't think
Too
there's
loud, too soft?
Little soft.
You're not even a
Little soft, okay.
What does
I'll
that
just
do?
play hard.
Okay.
So while she's getting her.
Better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So I want to introduce CC Everly, who I first heard play. She won't remember this, about 3 or 4 years ago. Played this great song, which I'll never forget. It was about karma. And I said then that this is somebody worth hearing. So we're glad to have CC Everly back with us.
Yay,
Yeah.
CC.
Hey, CC.
So I'm going to take my headphones off. So it's all me now. So that was, I love that last song. And I thought about changing my song because this is kind of the other side of how and what we fight for. I came online politically, actually in 7th grade. I had a great government teacher. They just taught government back then. And really opened my eyes. We'd read, I think we had to read Time magazine every week. And it was in, going into 7th grade was the fall of 69, summer of 70. And I never realized I imprinted that politic, and it keeps coming up in my songs. Well, this is a brand new one. Here we go. Race up 7 flights of stairs through smoky, acrid air. Ricochets, explosions, bullets firing everywhere. The choppers on the rooftop to carry the last load. Some diplomats, a few Marines to part the last toll. When we marched into this country, our mission true and clear: stabilize the government and vanquish all the fear. Rifts among the people, hundreds of years old. How naive to expect to get along as they were told. Brave soldiers working overtime, sweat and strife and toil. We say we fight for freedom, but really it's for oil. When I joined the Foreign Service, I thought that I could do some good. but the mission wasn't peace at all. How I misunderstood. Boots on the ground protecting an American way of life. Everybody genuflects at the sharp end of a knife. Scrambling to evacuate the wells they have run dry. Another country sacrificed an American goodbye. Story's been repeated on every continent. We demean our falling empire with all the lives we've spent. Years of pointless sacrifice and loss of life and limb. Leave them to their own means and a future that looks grim. The embassy's chaotic, the country it's a mess. Burning the last secret files, I'll leave with all the rest. When the occupation's over, left to their own means, our friends will turn to enemies, 'cause all that they have seen, the rhythm of the whirling blades beating a harder ticking bomb. It's another occupation that's gone terribly so wrong. I climb aboard the Black Hawk with shrinking crimson sky. Another country sacrificed an American goodbye. Brave soldiers working overtime in sweat and strife and toil. We say we fight for freedom, but really it's for oil.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, that was awesome. Oh,
Cece Everly.
That was awesome.
Thank you so much, Cece.
Yeah, Cece,
Thank you
wow.
so much.
Enjoyed that.
Okay, we're going to move along. I know Garrett Swain has been waiting. Are you still on the West Coast?
Yeah, he's out in. We met in Israel, but he's out in Los Angeles.
Okay, and I hear the polls have closed out there, but already they're declaring California a blue state. Is that right?
Well, it was a blue state this morning,
Yeah.
So, that's the thing. By the way, can I record this?
Yeah, we'll set you up for that.
Okay, yeah. That's the thing,
Hold on. There he is.
Okay.
Okay.
You're good.
You're good to record.
Thank you. Okay, great. That's the thing, about the electoral system. If you live in a blue state, you live in a state that's not a if it's not a toss-up state or a battleground state, you almost might as well not vote, because it's a foregone conclusion how your state's going to vote. I mean, I certainly voted today because there's all the down ballot, candidates and propositions and stuff. But it's mind-boggling to think that our votes really don't matter unless we live in the 5 or 6 swing states, because everything else, it's all predetermined. Whether you vote red or blue doesn't matter. California's going blue, and I wrote a song about that, but that's not the song I'm going to sing now.
Okay.
I'm going to sing a song that's kind of a prayer now, because this is a time for prayer right now. I think the soul of our nation really hangs in the balance. And this is a line out of the Bible. This is called "Such a Time as This." It appears in the Bible when, in the book of Esther, when Mordecai is telling Esther that she has to have the courage to go before the king and plead for her people, the Jewish people, because he says, if you don't do it, if you don't have the courage to do it, our deliverance will come from somewhere else. But perhaps the Lord made you and made you beautiful as his queen to appeal to him for such a time as this. And I thought that was a very cool line. And these are really very, very trying times, and this is a prayer mostly because it's called Such a Time as This. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh Lord, I pray, prepare me for such a time as this. I see the devil's minions everywhere. Perhaps, oh Lord, you made me for such a time as this. So many people crying in despair. In this dark hour I'll wait for you, put my trust and faith in you. I know my deliverance will come. I am ready to follow you. There is nowhere else to turn to. Without you I know all is lost in such a time as this. The chaos and confusion in such a time as this. We've never seen it quite this bad before. Deception and delusion in such a time as this. We can't agree what truth is anymore. So in this dark hour we'll wait for you, put my trust and faith in you. I know my deliverance will come. I am ready to follow you. There is nowhere else to turn to. Without you, I know all is lost in such a time as this. In such a time as this. False gods and phony idols in such a time as this. Exactly as the prophets all foretold. What would you have me do, Lord, in such a time as this? Can I only sit and watch it all unfold? But in this dark hour I'll wait for you, put my trust and faith in you. I know my deliverance will come. I am ready to follow you. There is nowhere else to turn to. I know without you all is lost. At such a time as this. At such a time as this. At such a time as this.
Beautiful song, Garrett.
Great.
Great song. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. From California.
Damn, you're good, Garrett.
Yeah, you are. You are.
So we're going to go from certified blue state. By the way, Aaron, your comments about voting in states that are already foregone conclusion that they're blue or red is only a function of the Electoral College. If that wasn't there, it would make a big difference. Yeah.
Oh, you're muted, Garrett.
You're muted.
You're muted.
I was going to say, today in Colorado, they are voting on the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, whether they're going to join or not. They probably will join, and that would bring to 196 the total of electoral votes of all the states who have agreed to be in the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. When that threshold reaches 270, it's game over. The way that works is that all the states in the compact agree that in presidential elections, they will vote their electoral votes not in accordance with who wins in their state, but in accordance with who wins nationwide.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
It's game over. We would still have an electoral college, but it would guarantee that the vote in the electoral college will always mirror what the vote, the national popular vote, and that's why that's a very important proposition, very important issue to support.
Very important.
And we
Thank
got
you so
him
much.
over.
I think we have an update, Ron, from somebody you know.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on one second. Let me get it done right. All right, let's hear another little update from Fern Israel, everybody.
Woohoo!
Fern.
Hey, Vern.
Well, I want to update you on some Senate. Right now, the Senate is 42 seats Democrat, 42 seats Republican, and there's 16 more votes. We had in Alabama that the Republican picked up, but we had in Arizona, a Democrat is ahead. In Ohio, the Democrat is ahead, and in Montana, the Democratic senator is ahead. And there's 16 votes out, and it's 42 to 42. Lindsey Graham did win his reelection.
Yeah.
But change is inevitable. So I don't know. I'm still smiling. And then the other thing I want to say is that we had a CNN projection. The one CNN projection is that Trump will win Mississippi and he'll get 6 electoral votes. But when they were talking about Pennsylvania, even though Trump is up, they wanted to assure everybody that there's more than 1 million votes not counted. And even though these votes that they show are counted, they're not contextualized, meaning they don't show the early voters that tend to be Democratic. They don't show them there. So right now, speaking about electoral votes, we have an update of Biden 192 and Trump 114. So this is good news, but it's going to be a wait and see. I wrote down some of the other information, they're still counting the day of votes today and absentee ballots. Outstanding votes counted, they're going to be counted all night, not just now. Stay patient. It's going to have fits and starts, and the counties are working as fast as they can. So they feel they have record turnout in a lot of these states that they've been highlighting, but everybody has to stay patient because it won't be known right now. All we do know is the 42-42, it's even, and we know about the electoral votes of 190, whatever I said. Papers are flying, 192 and 114.
So that puts Biden 2/3 of the way there.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it looks, even though it doesn't look, if you take the map and what they're saying, even though every other word is stay patient and explains why you stay patient, So, I do believe them. They're not just wishing it, because they go through county after county, and a lot of the counties do not, within a state, don't have any representation. They don't have any votes that have been counted. So stay the course, right?
Yeah, plus an awful lot of Democrats voted by absentee ballot or early voting, which
Early
slower votes to come in.
Well, that's exactly what they were expressing, that especially with those early votes, which tend to be Democratic, they haven't been counted at all. And that's why you see in many states that I've mentioned before, that I didn't want to show on my map, that Trump was ahead, but it doesn't mean he will keep that lead because of the Democratic non-representation within the count. So it's a good news to continue to play music. 192 to 114. That's a what? Yay! Come on!
All right, Fern.
You gotta be uplifted. Okay, back to
Take us through the night.
You are the cutest
right.
singer I've ever seen.
All right.
There you go.
So we're gonna take the fate of the nation into Bob Chabot's hand.
All right.
Move from blue California to blue Massachusetts, right, Bob? Isn't that where you are?
That's right. I'm in Western Massachusetts. We're blue. We're declared. We're on the right side, and I can't believe it's my turn already. How's the volume?
Really good.
Good.
Okay. All right. So
Hey, that's good.
I'm trying to get rid of this little box here. I don't know, there's a box in front of my face later. Okay, so this is a song that I hope to retire tonight. It's not a prayer, it's not peaceful, it's not violent, it's just a true story that I wrote about a year ago. I think it was a year and a half ago, maybe. I got to get a little louder. It was a cold day in November, best I can remember. A morning when the sun refused to rise. I was recalling old Darth Vader, picking up the morning paper, and the headline hit me right between the eyes. And I've since grown tired of draft dodging, pussy grabbing billionaire presidents. I do believe we've had all we can take. I'm tired of Sunday morning tweet storms and oral flatulence. Here's the deal, the news is real. It's this president's a fake. He lies 100 times a minute. The Russians helped him win it. His cronies are all marching off to jail. It's all distraction, confusion, grandiose delusion. And to those still falling for it, epic fail. 'Cause we've all grown tired of misogynistic, narcissistic baby man presidents. We do believe we've had all we can take. We're tired of Sunday morning bone spurs and toddler temperaments. Here's the deal, the news is real. It's the baby man's a fake. And you can call me little snowflake, call me anything you wanna. I got eyes and I can see what's going on. If this is how you choose to represent the things that you believe, well, I'm sorry, man. So sorry, man. But I am so tired of swamp licking, Putin kissing WikiLeaks presidents.
I do believe we've had all we can take. I'm tired of badly misspelled tweet storms and gut intelligence. Here's the deal, news is real. It's the baby man's a fake. Yeah, here's the deal, the news is real. It's this president's a fake. Yes, and we've had all we can take.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. It would be nice if you can retire that tonight, right?
It would be nice, yes.
Great song.
I have a couple of those songs I'd like to retire to.
Yeah.
I think we all do. We all do.
Hey, Bob, is that up on the web anywhere that I could hear that again?
There's a YouTube version of that on a Bob Chabot YouTube channel. Yeah.
That's like Bob Chabot, right? Are you the same thing as Bob? Same as the Bob Chabot channel?
Yeah, I call it. I pronounce it Chabot. You know.
I got it.
But you're spelling it's Americanized. It was Chabot, but I'm kind of feeling a little French, and I call myself Chabot.
Ooh la la.
But that's right. That's Bob Chabot YouTube channel.
Gotcha.
Okay, well, so this brings us to the end of our show, the end of our concert series. I want to thank all the performers that played tonight and played on the concerts that we have been running. And I definitely want to thank all the other members of the Musicians for the Greater Good team, Neil, Mike, Karen, Stephen, Kathy, Andrea. I think we did good with this series, and just to let anybody know who is interested, we are considering ways of continuing with this concept and this framework of providing a space for musicians concerned about social justice and political issues to have a place where they can go and perform and be heard. But more about that soon. And that will probably happen, presumably, no matter who wins this election. So I want to close with a song that I wrote about 2 years ago that's still appropriate. It's still, I think, a fitting kind of message to share. It's actually a message that is widely touted by all kinds of people. And I think hopefully it's a message that will last in people's consciousness as we move forward. All in this together, brother, don't you know? All in this together, hey, that's just how we roll. Going through some hard times, dark forces rule the land, but they won't go away unless we make a stand. I ain't standing no place unless I stand with you. I ain't going nowhere unless you go in too. All in this together, body and soul. All in this together, that's just how we roll. You say you got some ideas, and we disagree. That might be true, but ideas are just like leaves. They come in many colors, offer us some shade, but in the end, they all fall down with the difference they think they've made. All in this together, so the story's told. All in this together, that's just how we roll. They put us in our places, call us dumb or smart, wear different colors, make us look apart. But that kind of branding, it only goes so far. Deep inside you see how similar we are. All in this together, that's how they made the mold. All in this together, that's just how we roll. That's just how we roll. At the end of the day, we rise together, fall together, though it don't seem that way. Someone always seems to be putting up a fight, but there won't be no victory until we can unite. All in this together, don't misread the road. All in this together, that's just how we roll. That's just how we roll. Thank you. Good night. Have a good rest of your evening, I hope.
That's great, Ron.
Thank you, Ron. Ron is here.
Everybody.
Thanks,
so-
everybody.
Hope for good news in the morning.
Yeah, hopes
Best
and
wishes,
prayers
everyone.
for the morning hours. Thank you, everybody. See you all soon.
God bless.
Take care. Thanks a
God
lot.
bless
Good night.
everyone. Thanks
Bye-bye.
everybody for performing.
Night, everybody.
Good night, Kathy. Thanks for everything.
Bye-bye, Neil.
Good night, everybody. Bye bye.
Night.
Oh.